Hello, everybody! How is everybody doing today? Is everyone doing well? Uh, Welcome to stream. As you guys can see, we're going back to that one game. I wish it would stop doing that, sorry. Awake. Same. I just woke up maybe like 30 minutes ago. So, yeah. But we're back with Cinderella Phenomenon. Some of y'all, I won't name names, seem to really like this game. And so I'm gonna turn this down because I'm going deaf. Um, we're playing this again, and we're completing the route today, hopefully. I think we're halfway through. So we're completing the route. Maybe we'll start a new one. I don't know. I just wanted to try something. I know after we finish the first route, there's a lot of things we can skip in the beginning. I like seeing you suffer. Of course you do. But I do know that, I was told that after you finish one route, like, a lot of the other routes go flying through because you skip a lot of stuff that's already been said. So, we don't have to read that whole introduction again. Woo! That makes me feel great. I think this is where we left off. I don't know. Um, I'm trying to remember where we left off. We got our first good deed with Emmeline. We were really nice to her and gave her some advice. And, um, so and so. Rod was, like, really proud of us, and he was, like, happy that we were helping his sister, I think. And then, he protected us against Sir Mithros, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of it. I feel like once we start reading, we'll remember, but yeah. When we arrive at the Martian, Parfait and oh yeah, we were told that we needed to go to the Martian for some reason because we were being told something, but we don't know what we're being told yet. This is what this scene is. So yeah, Parfait and Delora are there to welcome us. The others, however, are nowhere in sight. Ah, it's been a while, Princess. Thank you for bringing her here safely, Prince Rod. Where is everyone? Yep, it's already gonna be that morning. They're all resting in their rooms now. It wasn't necessary that they be here for what Delora and I want to discuss with you. I will be staying in the tavern then. Rod is about to head for the tavern when Delora stops him. You don't have to leave. What we're going to say involves you too, since you're staying at the palace as well. Rod looks at her curiously, but asks no questions. Parfait and Delora gesture us over to the satay, I think it's satay, where where we all take our seats. This is something Rod and I must know because we're in the palace? I have a bad feeling about this. Before we start, I would like to congratulate you on your first good deed, Princess. Yeah! Del- Delora told me all about it, and I can see the extra piece on your necklace as well. Parfait smiles, her eyes filled with pride. Her faith in me rekindles the dwindling confidence confidence I had. Why can't I read today? If only you'd seen how happy Delora was when she announced it to us. You didn't have to go into specifics, Parfait. Oh, are you embarrassed, Delora? She smiles at Delora teasingly before turning back to me. Also, if you hear me drinking something, I have a coffee. Anyway, I know you can do it, Princess. Only two more to go and you can break your curse. Woo! Yeah, keep up the good work, Princess. And you too, Rod. I'm just silent. So, what is it that you wanted to discuss with us? Yeah, you wanted to discuss something with us. I conducted a little investigation while I was with Peek in the palace and found out something important. Something important? I discovered that there is a witch in the palace. Oh, uh, a witch? In the palace? I felt a tinge of magic while I was there. It was faint, but definitely there. I don't remember feeling it before when I was there as your doll, Princess. It seems that the witch is using a glamour to hide himself or herself from us. A glamour is a magic that only very experienced witches can cast. Which means the witch we are dealing with is no ordinary witch. They have the potential to be very powerful. Nah, shit, really? Wow. But what would a witch be doing in the palace in the first place? This witch could be after the king, but what? Parfait and Delora glance at each other, looking conflicted. It is Parfait who faces me first, her expression, grave. I'm afraid there's some other possibility we must make you aware of, Princess. I just need to make a compilation video of me stuttering over my words. That would take hours to edit. In order for us to explain, we must give you the truth. Oh? Chapter 6. Moving? Moving closer or mobbing closer? Moving closer. The truth? My only answer is silence. I shift my gaze to Rod, but he avoids my eyes. What's going on? Princess, it is very likely that this witch in the palace is looking for you. Why? Why are they looking for us? What? I cast a glamour on you a long time ago so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you, but this witch in question can see through the spell I've cast on you. It is my belief that they are actively looking for you. Oh, crud. Why? Wait, why are they looking for us? I close my eyes and massage the temples of my head as I feel a headache coming on. Wait, you said before that the witches want to see their curses unbroken. But this sounds as if they have another motive altogether. What reasons could they have for trailing me? The Tenebrarum has been without a bearer for a long time, ever since the end of the war. A new bearer, however, will soon arise, and the crystal is ready to support them. Some of the witches, the wicked ones, want to make sure that the Tenebrarum continues to spread darkness, even with this new bearer in charge. Okay, what does this have to do with me? Yeah, what does this have to do with us? Delora crosses her arms, her expression grim. The title of the bearer is passed down from one descendant to the next. Princess, the last Tenebrarum bearer, say that 10 times fast. Tenebrarum bearer was the late Queen of Angiel, your mother. What? Does that mean we're the next? Oh my gosh. I feel my blood go cold. What? As you are the queen's daughter, you are the next heir. Yeah. Come your 18th birthday, you will inherit the title of Tenebrarum bearer. Yeah! Oh my god, the princess is the princess, literally! Mother? A witch? Impossible. Why would you spout such lies? I don't think they're lying. I think they're telling the truth. What do they have to gain by lying to us? Nothing. I narrow my eyes at them, searching for some hint that they are lying to me. Delora and Parfait never turn their sad eyes away from me. Rod glances at me briefly before turning away, looking uncomfortable. R.I.P. Hildur, your mother, and I used to work together to maintain balance. Hildur? Hildur? Yeah. But then the witch hunt drove her mad and turned her heart to ice. But she never used any magic. I would have known if she was a witch. It's possible that you did in the past, but it seems she erased all your memories of her true identity. Delora was already able to ascertain most of your memories of her that had been snatched away. Hildur needed you to remain obedient, so that when you finally did inherit her role as the bearer, you would continue to do as she wanted. Oh my gosh! Our mother is horrible! My thoughts, my thoughts feel as if they are spinning endlessly on an axis. I feel like we already knew she was horrible though, because her mother was kind of manipulative in like the flashbacks. But the real reason I cursed you was to see if you are truly capable of goodness, princess. Hilda's influence clung to you even after her death, and we feared that you would continue her previous work. The Angio might once again fall to darkness. If you were not able to help the dark emotion, oh, sorry, wow, I paused where I shouldn't have paused. The Angio might once again fall to darkness if you were not able to help the dark emotions in your heart. So then you cursed me because you were terrified of what I would do if I became the bearer as I was. My only answer is silence. Now I understand why the people hated me. It was because I am my mother's daughter. That's so sad. She can't help who her mother is. I cannot help but reach out to touch the pendants on my necklace as a feeling of dread washes over me. We know that there is goodness in you, princess. We only wanted you to realize it by breaking your curse. Parfait sighs, looking guilty. It was a selfish act on our part, I know. But we could not risk another great war. Every time I take a sip of coffee, it like goes so fast, and then I'm like, ugh. They believed that I would plunge the world into a war. I mean, we're really horrible. We were really horrible. I feel like we're getting better, but we were really bad. I turned to Rod, who has yet to speak since the conversation started. Yeah, bro. What? I should not call him that. Did you know about all of this? Everyone knows the story of the Tenebrarum witch and her daughter. Everyone except for me. I glanced down at my hands, suddenly feeling numb. I am a witch, and I will become the Tenebrarum's next bearer. Just the thought of it makes me sick. I think back to my childhood. I can still recall the glares that everyone gave me when I was a child. Were they scared of me because I was my mother's daughter? What about the king? Did he never love me because I was the daughter of a witch? But if that is the case, if my mother was so wicked, then why did the king marry her in the first place? Hildur threatened to kill the woman that he loved if he did not marry her. She threatened to kill Ophelia. Oh my gosh! Ah! No! That's horrible! Ophelia? So the king has loved Ophelia from the very beginning? Oh my gosh. I clenched my hands into tight fists. Bro, we're getting all the lore right now. Golly. After Mother died, he was able to reunite with his true love. And since then, he has treated Emmeline and Rod better than he ever treated me, even though I am his daughter by blood. I want to feel angry about this revelation, but instead I feel a dreary emptiness inside of me. Aww. A heavy feeling begins to settle in my chest. suffocating my heart. He never really loved me. Oh, that's so sad. And they were no, Tofu, no, Tofu, no, no. Ooh, that's so sad. She's crying. You can see her tears. I don't think she's cried before. Growth, character growth. How are you, Tofu? I'm taking a coffee break while reading chat. I'm good. I'm good. You need coffee? Get some coffee. I went to Dunkin' this morning because I was dropping my sister off at school, and so I got to stop by Dunkin' before I went home and get coffee. But yeah, I feel so bad for her. She's like crying. To be honest though, I could probably understand like she thought she had a dad who just kind of resented her actions, but no, like he never really loved her, and that sucks. Bean water. Shush, Prawn. That is not correct. Okay. He never really loved me. Peak. Rod's voice snaps me out of my thoughts, and that is when I realize that a stray tear has made it down my cheek. I quickly wipe it away with the back of my hand, angry at myself for showing weakness in front of them. How is that not correct? That is exactly what coffee is. I mean, it is, but that makes it sound gross, and coffee is good. Mm. I feel so bad! Like, she's so heartbroken. You must be happy to see me like this. What? Your mother was made queen and you and your sister became royals overnight. It's like, I'm sorry, there was a fly. It's like something out of a fairy tale, isn't it? You thought you had the perfect life until I came back into it. I never asked for this to happen. I just wanted to. Rod suddenly moves his hand to Stevie's mouth, muffling whatever other words the plush was going to say for him. Oh, what is it you want to say, Rod? It's nothing. I can assure you, however, that the power that comes with the crown has always been irrelevant to my family and I. So stop assuming that everyone around you is after your title or your riches. Did your time with my sister not teach you anything? I am about to angrily retort when I suddenly stop, my heart sinking. I have already recognized that Emmeline is more complex than I thought she was, and she has also told me that she never wanted to be a princess. My mother wouldn't have married the king if my father were still here. Delora looks between the two of us and sighs. And here I thought your relationship had improved. Now it seems like it's back to square one. I cross my arms and turn away, annoyed. I mean, well, you kind of dropped like 5 bombs on us, and then we went back to our normal self and like defended ourselves because we don't like opening up people, and so it just kind of brought us back to square one. Rip. Do you have anything else to add, Parfait? If not, I would like to return to the palace. Princess, stay vigilant and be careful about who you trust. Trust? How do you know whom I trust? What makes you even think I trust you? Oh my gosh. No, we were doing so well. We had so much growth, and now we're a bud again. The anger that I was expecting earlier suddenly rises to the surface. For all I know, Parfait and Delora could be feeding me lies, playing with me the way Delora did when she first cursed me. I I don't expect you to believe what we've told you. Perhaps it was not yet the right time to reveal anything to you, but please, you need to be careful. I stand up and look at them, my arms now hanging limply at my sides. How am I meant to trust anyone when all of you have been lying to me this entire time? Peek. If you don't believe us, then try asking the king who Hildur truly is. I never thought about asking the king about my mother. Rod, you should watch your back too. It is possible that this witch in question could be plotting something against the royal family as well. They have been in the palace for a long time, after all. She looks at me, then at Rod, her expression somber. I won't be able to stay with you anymore. I had to pick up and leave a few days ago because I was certain he'd caught a trace of my magic. He probably already has. I understand. Anyway, Peek is right to return to the palace now. Someone may notice your absence if you're gone much longer. You two should leave now. Sorry. Let us know if you notice anything unusual. I will. We will see you again soon, Princess. Remember, stay vigilant. Rod and I leave the Martian in silence. Here in the secret tunnels, we are suffocated under the even more silent. Oh, wow. Ugh. We are suffocated under even more silence, but neither of us makes ah! an effort to speak. I am still stuck inside my own mind, sifting through my troubled thoughts. I cannot reconcile the fact that the wicked witch who led the witches during the war was my mother. I did not even realize how many people hated my mother until after she had passed, and they spoke about how cruel a queen she was. I never understood why, since she had always been the perfect person in my eyes. I never connected my mother with the Tenebrarum bearer, but what Parfait and Delora just told me makes sense. Was I living a lie all those years? A lie that my mother crafted so that I remained cold and bitter even after she passed away? And Delora and Parfait say I am meant to inherit the power of the Tenebrarum from my mother. I do not want that burden. I don't want it either. No, thank you. Goodbye. I almost bumped into Rod's back when he suddenly stopped walking. He turns around and looks at me with a serious expression. I cannot help but feel judged beneath the weight of that gaze. If you're going to tell me that you never wanted me as your partner because my mother was a witch, then I wasn't going to say that. What? I won't lie, the first time I saw you, I thought you were like your mother. You were cold, harsh, and selfish. I never wanted to have anything to do with you. Bah! I wish I could read. That's why I was so against this partnership, but you've changed. Uh, Rod's expression softens. I don't like this. As you and M have grown closer, I have seen that you are not like your mother. I just have to laugh it off. I just have to laugh it off. She speaks fondly of you, and I can tell she really enjoys your company. I'm so glad we're friends with Emmeline. She's so sweet. I love her. That's why, even if I do not have plans to break my curse, I will still do what I can to help you break yours. It's the least I can do as your partner. I stare at Rod in shock. This is the first time he's ever been so nice to me. I know. Wow. Why are you staring at me like that? I'm only doing this because you're important to my sister. I mean, okay. Rod turns away, his face beet red. Liar! Uh, Rod reaches up to pinch Sebby's face. Sebby is so funny, oh my gosh. Ow! Uh, oh wait, no, not that. What is... There it is. I forgot, I couldn't think. Saving because I'm horrible at deciding. Compliment, thank. I think I want to thank him. Thank you. Rod turns away, his cheeks dusty pink. It's no big deal. I'm only doing this because I see how dedicated you are to how dedicated you are to breaking your curse. Because I want to get my old life back. And now that they have told me about Mother, I want to prove that I am nothing like her. Anyway, I still want to help you with your curse, Rod. Why do you refuse to break it? Rod Rod stares down at his feet, expression melancholy. Because I cannot. Why? Rod stops and shakes his head. He says nothing else, and I do not probe him anymore, especially not after seeing the distant look on his face. We walk through the corridor and back to our rooms after we say our goodbyes. I wonder what Rod was going to say. I don't think that was right. I don't think that was the right choice. Hold on. Wait, where did my mouse go? There it is. Okay, I think we gotta go back. I don't think that was the right choice. No! No, I didn't want to do that. Oh my gosh, no. I meant to... Ah, crud. Okay, hold on, we're skipping. Skipping. I messed up. Da 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 da. Okay. Yes, we're rewriting this save again. Thank you. Um, so it's not thanking him, we're gonna compliment him. Who would have thought that you were actually capable of being nice? What? Was that supposed to be a compliment? Yes, you're always so grumpy. I don't even think I have seen a genuine smile on your face before. I can say the same for you. Birds of a feather flock together, then. Rod stares at me dumbfounded. I cannot help but smile a little at his expression. Uh, do you really dislike the fact that we are so similar? Rod is staring at me wide-eyed. You just smiled. I smiled? I didn't even notice! Wait! I want to see the smile! Go back! Oh, it doesn't show us. That's dumb. You just smiled. I did not. Rod, Rod thinks your smile is pretty. So that was the correct one. Interesting. I do not. You two really are the same. Sebby is so funny. I take a deep breath to calm the erratic beating of my heart. Girl! Ugh. Anyway, I still want to help you with your curse, Rod. Why do you refuse to break it? Blah, blah, blah. Rod stares down at his feet, expression melancholy. Because I cannot. Rod stops and shakes his head. He says nothing else, and I do not probe him anymore, especially not after seeing the distant look on his face. We walk through the corridor and back to our rooms after we say our goodbyes. I wonder what Rod was going to say. Alright, we're back to the dream. Mother, look! Eleanor got me this gift. Eleanor? She is my maid and my friend. Princesses don't make friends with their servants. But she is really nice. She even taught me how to braid my hair like... Those servants are only nice to you because you are the princess. Oh, they only pretend to be your friends so that they can have power over you. Stop! That's... She's like 8! She's 8! I don't know. Well, she's probably younger. I don't care. Either way, she's a child. Why would you tell her that? But Eleanor would never. What reason do I have to lie to you? I. When have I ever lied to you, little one? You've never lied to me. That is correct. Tomorrow I will remedy this situation. I will hire a new maid. You are not to befriend this one, no matter what she says. Uh, but mother. Are you arguing with me, Peek? No, I am sorry, mother. That is so horrible. That is horrible. I feel like crying. That's so sad. Her mother is horrible. Oh my god. Ouch. Yeah, literally, ouch. My feelings. It has been days since Parfait and Delora revealed my mother's true identity, and the inevitable responsibility I am to have on my shoulders once I turn 18. Are we 17? I think so. I have been trying to ask the king about mother, but he is even busier these days than he was before, and it give me a second. And it impossible to find a single moment in the day to speak with him. The fact that I am a maid makes it even harder to garner his intent. The fact that I am a maid makes it even harder to garner his attention. When I am not on break, I continue to do my duty serving Emmeline. Right now, I am accompanying her as she practices her walk and posture. Ophelia has been helping her, pointing out any mistakes she finds. I know how hard this is, dear. I had to go through this training as well before I married the king. Emmeline allows her shoulders to slouch as she lets out an exasperated sigh. I've always hated these lessons. I had thought my posture was fine, but this is supposed to refine it, and yet all these lessons have been doing is hurting my back. Oh, Emmeline, you'll get the hang of this. You just need to keep practicing. But mother, I've had this same lesson before. Why must I do it again? I have horrible posture. I would fail. I have really bad posture. Because you slouch when you walk, and that is unbecoming of a princess. Emmeline scowls at her mother, and Ophelia's frown falls away as she bursts into laughter. Mother, you're not helping. The atmosphere in the room is far from heavy as Emmeline and her mother continue to conduct their lessons. It is almost the exact opposite of the lesson I had with mother. Mother always got angry when I made even the smallest mistakes, because our mother was a bitch. I know this is hard, but as the crown princess, all eyes will be on you during the ball. The people there will judge any small mistake you make, which is why you need to be in top form on that night. I know. Sorry. Ophelia claps her hands. All right, now to start again. Emmeline groans before heading to the far wall and straightening her back. She takes a deep breath, puts a book on her head, and begins to walk again. The book falls from her head on the third step. She sighs, moves back, and starts the process again. Neither of us break Emmeline's concentration by speaking. We stand idly by and watch as she tries time and time again. I am surprised when Ophelia leans towards me and begins to whisper. Peek, I'd been meaning to say this before, but I am grateful that you are friends with my daughter. I look at Ophelia's smiling face with surprise. I never agreed to be her friend. Girl! No one really agrees to be friends. It just kind of happens. Like, you're not against the princess making friends with her servants? Why would I be? I actually wish more of the staff here wouldn't be so uptight, since I would love for Emmeline to be on good terms with the people who serve her. Yeah. Besides, social status is never an obstacle to friendship. Ophelia shifts her gaze back to Emmeline, who is now picking up the book that has once again fallen from her head. No matter your occupation or status, a friend is always a friend. You've given Emmeline the courage she needs to face the many challenges she has ahead of her. In a way, you're like family since you're always around us. See about that. Like family. Come what may, both family and friends are there for you and will accept you for who you are. Even before I was cursed, Emmeline was always trying to be my friend. Sorry, I took a sip of coffee and choked. Ouch. That means she knew all along who my mother was and still wanted to be my friend. Oh, I want to be friends with Emmeline! The thought makes me remember what Parfait told me about Mother threatening to kill Ophelia if the king did not marry her. I turned to Ophelia, curious. Your Majesty, may I ask what you know about the late Queen's rule? Ophelia looks at me quizzically, so I quickly add a thoughtless lie. I was not in Angiel and have only heard stories. I just thought it was so hard to believe, what with how peaceful things are in the palace right now. The kingdom was a dark place back then. People lived in fear under her rule. The king had no real power over Angiel. Angiel? I'm gonna say Angiel still. The witches had free reign over the kingdom. They cast the fairy tale curse incessantly and on a whim. And on a whim. We barely left our houses in fear of becoming cursed. Mother's reign was that terrible? The king still blames himself for the darkness that befell Angiel during that time. This is why he works day in and out to stabilize the country and to put smiles on everyone's faces. I remember long ago that how he told me one of the reasons he would always continue to work hard for this kingdom was because he wanted to make a brighter tomorrow for his children. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was making sure I didn't skip something by accident. Ophelia looks confused for a few moments, then brushes off the awkwardness with a small chuckle. He helps the family in his own way. Was that something he's actually said, but he meant us? Is it possible that he said that with me in mind? An Ophelia's slip up, but then maybe he was always referring to Emmeline and Rod. The kingdom's come a long way since then, hasn't it? There are still there there are still witches here and there, but most of them don't bother others. I pray that the peace we are experiencing right now will last. I see. Thank you for telling me. Okay, boss. Gotta run. Have a great stream. Bye, Kron. See you next time. It is a bit of a dreary topic, but I'm happy to have helped. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call on me. I know it may not be traditional protocol. I know it may not be traditional protocol for a queen, but then I do not consider myself a typical queen. I try my best to listen to everyone here, regardless of what their title or name might be. I can only nod at her in response. Princess or maid, the way Ophelia has treated me has never changed. She has always treated me with kindness, regardless of who I am. Yeah, Ophelia's so nice. The whole family is like really nice. Rob's kind of a jerk, but I mean, we deserve it. We were also a jerk, so I never saw it before because I was always so distant from everyone. But now I see that Ophelia treats everyone here with kindness, regardless of social status. I was always frustrated by the servants when they compared Ophelia to my mother, saying she was superior. But now, I think I understand why they would make such comparisons. Yeah. Bro, we had a shitty childhood. Like, golly. Hold on, I'm stretching. Emmeline dismisses me after my lessons, and I begin to head immediately back to my room. I have just turned a corner when I notice Sir Alcaster standing before me, scowling. This dude freaks me out. He's so weird. Watch where you're going, child. I quickly avert my gaze, not wanting a confrontation. He always looks at me so strangely, almost like he can see through my mind, or is trying to. My apologies, Sir Alcaster. Sir Alcaster nods his head at me stiffly before walking off. You are pardoned, princess. What? What? Uh, I turn to stare after him, but he has already turned the corner. How does he remember who we... Is he the witch? My blood becomes cold. Was that just a slip of the tongue? But how else could he know that I am the princess? Is it possible that he is cursed? No, somehow that does not seem right. But if he does not have the fairy tale curse, could he be the witch that Delora warned me about? What reason would he have for unveiling his identity then? Unless he just wants to intimidate me further. It occurs to me that Fritz still remembers who I am. Did he tell his father about me? Now I am even more confused about whom I should trust. Yeah, I don't know. Peek? I jump when I hear Rod call me. His expression slowly His expression slowly creases with something that looks like worry. You're pale. Did something happen? Would he believe me if I told him? My mouse isn't working! Okay. Alright, saving. I think I'm going to tell him. I feel like we trust him enough now that we can tell him. Sir Alcaster knows I am the princess. Do you think he is the witch Delora was talking about? I whisper the words to him, and he responds by raising his eyebrows, looking surprised. What makes you say that? This isn't just because of the standoffish way he acts, is it? You don't believe me. Rod sighs. I never said that I didn't. It's just, oh my gosh! Okay, maybe we chose the wrong one. I'll keep reading just in case, but I think we chose the wrong one. It's just that we can't just blindly accuse anyone without real proof. He called us princess! I mean, I feel like that's a little more proof than we need. Ross stares at me for a few moments, then closes his eyes, his eyebrows slightly furrowed with thought. Sir Fitzgerald also remembers who you are. I do not want to be so suspicious of Fritz, but I don't think blindly trusting him would be right either, given these circumstances. You need to stay vigilant around him. If anything happens, you can come talk to me about it. You're worried about me? Oh. Rod averts his gaze from me. Of course I am. That was the right one! I didn't think it was for a hot minute. Wow, you're actually being honest! uh, what? Rod glares at Stubby before pinching his cheeks. Anyway, I must leave now. I have a dance to practice for. Dance? But you already know how to dance. What do you have left to practice? Rod does not answer and only walks away. I decide to follow after him. Yeah, I'm nosy. Why did you follow me? I shrug. I wanted to see you practice. I'm tempted to put I'm nosy. To be honest, I wanted to see him dance. I already know that Emmeline is very clumsy when it comes to dancing, but outside of the one practicing with but outside of the one practice with Emmeline, I have never seen Rod dance. Emmeline always gloats on his behalf, and yet I have, but ah! But I have yet to witness Rod's supposed talent with my own eyes. Our dance together was short. I barely had any time to judge him. I do not practice with an audience. Too bad. Why? It is my preference. Rod is easily embarrassed. Rod groans and pinches one of Sebby's cheeks, glowering. Sorry! Rod reluctantly releases the bunny with a sigh. I notice you have been talking more lately, Sebby. Oh, that's because Rod here has been saying things that contradict what he thinks or feels. Rip. Sebby makes a sound of defeat as Rod once again pinches one of his cheeks. Uh, Rod stares at me with wide eyes as I stare back, beginning to panic. What's wrong? You smiled again. Did we? Oh, look! She's so cute! Little smile. How sweet. That's like a sweet smile. I actually smile like I have like a really big smile, and so it's like I can't just smile with my lips. It looks weird. So I don't know. Can't relate. You smiled again. I put a hand over my mouth, blushing. Hand to my mouth, blushing. I was smiling again? I never even noticed. It was a pretty smile, Princess. Right, Rod? Rod quickly turns away, cheeks slightly pink. I need to practice now, so I would appreciate you leaving. I want to stay! He did not even command me to leave. What a surprise. Emmeline said you were a really good dancer. I want to see it with my own eyes. Why? So you can judge me? Um, I'm not here to judge you. Why else would you be so keen on watching me? I am mostly curious. Curious? I wanted to know how good you really were. Then yes, you are judging me. Maybe. I hold out my hand and he stares, looking taken aback. I should not be scolded for only being curious. Why not just one little dance to prove how talented you are? Are we dancing with him again? Ouch! Hold on. Leg. Leg. Okay. Okay. Rod stares at me for a few minutes before reluctantly taking my hand. Oh, we're dancing again. Fine, you better not stamp on my step. Ah! Step on my feet. I just want to be able to actually read. for once in my life. I want to be able to read without being like, oh well. Rod starts leading the dance. He glides us into the imaginary rhythm of a waltz, even without the music. I am able to count the steps in my head as I follow his lead. Was this the correct answer or what? This is different from that short dance we showed Emma Lane. Rod's movements are graceful, his touch gentle as it leads me to an underarm twirl. Oh wow. Really close. I'm a little uncomfortable. Oh well. When I come to face him once again, I notice the gentle way he stares at me. The usual hardness of his expression is gone, melted into something relaxed. Relaxed. I find myself staring back at him, looking into his eyes. Perhaps Rod does have some gentleness to him. Our gaze does not break as he twirls me. You have beautiful eyes. Uh, Rod's eyes widen as soon as mine do. He abruptly lets go of my hands and steps back. I can only stare at him, my face warm. It wasn't me this time! Sebi! I have a feeling Rod's just gonna throw Sebi one time and just be like, bruh, shut up. But that was funny. Oh wow. That wasn't me this time. That was more than just a thought, I swear. Rod says nothing, though his cheeks continue to darken with embarrassment. Oh my! Emma Lane! Emma Lane is here! Rod and I turn to look at Emma Lane, who is hovering by the door. Excuse me. Was that correct, or did it? I don't think that was correct. Oh wait, no, don't overwrite the save. Don't overwrite the save. I don't think that was the correct answer. I am sure that I am a much better dancer than you. The scowl on Rod's face deepens. Why do we have to insult him for it to be the correct answer? Golly, I don't like insulting people. I almost smirk. Maybe he is reluctant to show me, but Rod is also full of pride. He is more likely to show me if I pose a challenge. Well, we didn't pose a challenge and he still danced with us, so you didn't even answer the question. And are you underestimating my dancing? Others may have forgotten, but you still remember, do you not? I am a princess and was taught by the kingdom's best instructor. I say the words with pride, and I notice Rod's lips twitch in response. It actually makes me feel accomplished to get under Rod's skin when he is usually the one getting under mine. Having the best instructor does not automatically make you the best dancer. I am pretty confident with my own skills. Say what you want, but I refuse to believe you without any proof. I still say that I am a better dancer than you are. Okay, so that was correct. Cool. Rod steps forward and pulls me suddenly into his arms, taking me by surprise. He looks at me, clearly determined. Fine then, you'll have your proof. I'll make you swallow those words with this dance. We shall see. Alright, we're skipping the dance again. He said we have beautiful eyes. Blah 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 blah. Emmeline comes in. Yada yada. Woo. Rod quickly walks through the doorway and out into the hallway, leaving Emmeline and I alone in the room. What just happened? That was a wonderful dance. She saw the whole thing. She saw the whole thing. Which means she also heard him say, we have beautiful eyes. Oh, crud. Girl, that was a wonderful dance, Peak. Yeah. You were watching? I only just saw the last few minutes. But you know, the two of you really did look like a couple. It was sweet. Uh, a couple? Ugh, okay. Oh, you're blushing. Help. I put a hand to my cheek and turned away with a scowl. I am not. Besides, whatever just happened was embarrassing. Do you like Rod? Emmeline's just so direct and to the point. Like, she does not care. I stare at her. I do not. Also, you are forgetting that I am a maid who cannot be with the prince even if I wanted to. He is grumpy and cold, and even though we are not blood related, he is still my stepbrother. Yeah, girl, maintain that thought, please. If only Emily realized how crazy her words were in the light of the truth. Emily suddenly looks starry-eyed as she giggles at me. Love knows no boundaries, dear Peak. Besides, he seems to like you. Your brother hates me. Rod can be a contradiction sometimes. Sometimes he says the opposite of what he feels. It is only when you get to know him as well. Wow, it is only when you get to know him as well as I do that you realize what his truths are. I can't speak. I cannot help but think of Sebi, who always speaks Rod's thoughts aloud when they are contradictory. He was always mean to Victoria when we were young. He would always bully her for being a crybaby, even though he cried far more often. But then I realized that he treated her more special than he did anyone else. Back then I knew that he liked her. Oh, Rod is in love with Viorica, Emmeline's best friend. Oh, Nafis! What's up, Nafis? How are you? We have missed you, my friend. Good, good. I am I'm doing good. Even though we're going down the route I do not want to go down. Thanks to Kron. But it's fine. But we just found out that Rod is in love with Viorica, and she's getting married to someone else, and so that's why he's sad. So that makes sense. I thought that one day the two of them might get to grow to love each other, but Emmeline lets a long sigh as she directs her attention out the window. His attitude toward her has changed ever since he was cursed. Then they grew even more distant when Viorica found a lover. He Napus, you have me dead. Is that the reason you have been going to the toy shop with Prince Roth? Because you want to bring them back together? Emmeline nods. The three of us were best friends, the three musketeers. It's not the same without Rod. I keep on asking him what's wrong, but he refuses to tell me. He's in love with Viorica, and she doesn't love him back. I mean, naturally, you would kind of stray away. He's always been stubborn, but it's not like him to keep secrets. It's really frustrating because I have no idea what I should do to help him. I thought he was being stubborn with me, but apparently no amount of prodding, even from his own family, will make him budge. So he's just stubborn. Got it. Why is he being so difficult? I hope you do not mind me asking, but what do you know about his curse? Emily, I thought we weren't supposed to know about the curse, quote unquote, because we were a maid, quote unquote. But I guess we found out eventually or something like that. Maybe Elaine said something and we realized, and like, she was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything. Oh well. Emmeline stares at me for a few moments before nodding. You're my friend, Peak, and I know that I can confide in you. I know that sometimes I am not trusting enough, but I think Emmeline is far too trusting. We all know that he has the mermaid's curse. I've read the story so many times, hoping that I could figure out some way to break his curse. Mermaid as in like the Little Mermaid? Is this like the original Little Mermaid or like Disney Little Mermaid? Because big difference. Big difference. I think back and realized that I had actually read the beginning of The Little Mermaid a long time ago, but I did not have the chance to finish it because I was caught by Mother. The Little Mermaid is about a mermaid who trades their voice for legs, right? True, yeah. Yes, she does it so she can be with her prince. Rod's voice was taken away, but I'm sure that he was given something in exchange. I've heard that the curses are derived from the original tales, but that they are twisted in some way to fit the format of a curse. I nod slowly, thoughtful. I have a strong feeling that Rod's curse is related to Viorica, but I cannot draw the connection. Maybe in Rod's case, like Rod is like the Little Mermaid since he lost his voice. Maybe Viorica is the quote unquote prince. Maybe Viorica is supposed to fall in love with him to break the curse. Maybe. We'll find out. Eventually we'll find out. It'll tell us. But still, Viorica might be the key to understanding his curse. If Rod will not divulge anything, the next best chance we have of understanding his curse might be going through Viorica. Why are there so many weird names? Chapter 7. Be careful what you wish for. 3 more chapters! Ah! Today is the first time that I am wow, that voice crack. Today is the first time that I am leaving the palace on a day off. Usually I choose to stay inside, whereas the other servants always leave to go home. I never see any reason to leave since this has always been my home. And the Martian has never been home. Besides, it is not as if I want to return. Not after that conversation we all shared last time. Thus I have spent most of my days asking questions about wow, asking questions about Mother's reign, inquiring when and where I can. The opinions do not surprise me. I was so scared of her. One wrong move and she'd have you thrown in prison. The townsfolk would always wait for her to pass before leaving their houses. She was a tyrant. The kingdom is a better place now that she is gone. That's sad. There's no reason for them to lie to me. The more I hear, the more my old life makes sense to me. Now I know. Now I know why the king never seemed to love Mother, and why the people always hated her. Why the people hated her. And the reason people looked at me with such fear. However, it has been months since I have been glared at in public. If there is one good thing that this curse did for me, it is that it allows me to travel around town without being noticed. As Viorica's shop comes into view, my thoughts shift to the reason I have left the palace in the first place. If Rod will not tell me anything, I will have to ask Viorica. She must be related in some way to his curse. I pause outside the door to the toy shop. With a deep breath, I push the door open. I believe I can read. I can read. I can read! I believe! Welcome! The moment she sees me, her expression becomes confused. Oh, you're the princess's maid, Peek, was it? Wow. Oh, you are the princess's maid. Peek, wasn't it? Yes. I nod at her. You've never come in here alone before. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you something. It's about Prince Rod. Prince Rod? Did something happen to him? Is he okay? He's fine. She sighs with relief. Then what is it you would like to ask? I just wanted to know if you knew any. I just wanted to know if you knew anything about Prince Rod's sudden muteness. Viorica stares at me for a few moments before she shakes her head. I only know that it happened soon after I met my fiance, Desmond. What reason do you have for asking? Well, I try to think of a plausible explanation for this, and I immediately consider Emmeline. Viorica is Emmeline's best friend. I'm sure she would be willing to help if she knew I was doing this for Emmeline. Prince Rod has been very quiet recently. Princess Emmeline has been worried sick about him, but he refuses to say anything, even to her. I have been trying to gather information that might be helpful in discerning the cause. Uh, I stare at her expectantly, hoping that my gaze holds nothing but determination. Finally, Viorica smiles. She's lucky to have a dedicated friend like you. I am still not accustomed to the fact that Emmeline considers me a friend. I bet you aren't. Before she became the princess, I was her first confidant. We were like sisters. But now that she's living in the castle, we no longer have the luxury of spending so much time together. I worry about her constantly. Sorry. Even around me, Em always tended to keep her problems to herself at first. She didn't like to bother other people with them. It is hard not to agree. With the way Emmeline was always smiling before, I never thought she had any problems in her life. It was only recently that I discovered that she was hiding all of her loneliness and pain behind a smile. It is a relief that she's befriended someone who cares so much about her. I do not know if I can be much help, but I will tell you what I know if it'll help Emmeline. To start with, I'm not exactly sure how everything changed, but it happened so but it all wow, hello. Read correctly, Pete, please. But it all happened so suddenly. All I know is that after the night I met Desmond, our relationship changed. At first he still smiled, but recently he's been avoiding me. What happened between the two of you the night you met your fiance? Nothing. Rod and I did not meet on that day. Prince Rod wasn't there? No, but soon after what happened that night, Rod grew distant. What happened? It was a stormy night, and I was heading back home. I took the route by the riverbank because it was the shortest route. It was foolish of me. The road was slippery and full of mud. I lost my footing and fell into the water. The waves were strong, and I was certain I was going to drown. I don't remember what happened in the darkness of that water, only that when I woke up, my head was in Desmond's lap. That was the first time we met, but not the last. He carried me home, and he came by every day as I was recovering. And then he came to visit even after I had recovered. I tried not to get my hopes up too much, because what could this nobleman see in me, a mere commoner? But I still ended up falling in love with him. You have no idea how happy I was when he said he loved me too. It was a dream come true. Of course, every girl dreams of marrying a prince. It was all in all of the fairy tales that I read as a child. None of that was at all related to Rod. How does this relate to his curse? You said your relationship with Prince Rod changed after that night. What happened? Viorica sighs. Sorry, hold on. Ah! Okay. I told Em and Rod about Desmond soon after the incident. Em was happy that the two of us had fallen in love, but Rod didn't say much of anything. Anything. That's when I noticed he started growing distant, and when I realized that had also lost his voice. He still won't tell me anything, but I figured that he was. Her voice fades, but I know that she is referring to the curse. So Rod lost his voice shortly after Viorica met Desmond. The mermaid's curse must have something to do with the tail. The little mermaid traded her voice for legs so that she could be with her prince. But that night, the only person who found their Prince Charming was Viorica. Rod's curse must have something to do with Desmond and Viorica. He became distant with her after finding out about Desmond. Why? But then there is the fact that he still spoke to Viorica even if he was distant. It was only when he found out about their wedding that he became so cold. I frowned as I tried to organize my thoughts. How did it get to be this late? I'm so sorry, Peak, but I have to close the shop now. Sorry for the story. I know it has nothing to do with Rod, but it was after that incident that he began to act so strangely. I don't think I was much help, but I shake my head. You have told me what you could. Viorica walks me to the door, opening it so that both of us can step out onto the street together. Well, thank you anyways. I really hope that you're able to help Emmeline and Rod. I hope so too. Did you see Ophelia the other day? I catch sight of two noble women sitting on the bench, not beach, bench, not too far away from the toy shop. They're referring to Ophelia without her title. How disrespectful. Who would have thought a peasant like her could almost look like royalty? Excuse you? What? But her dress. As the queen, she ought to be wearing silks rather than satin. She can wear what she wants. She's the queen. What? I do not know why, but I bristle at their comments. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but the fact that they are speaking so bluntly in public means that they have little worry of being overheard. I'm still not sure what the king saw in her. Wow. Well, you know what they say about ladies lacking natural beauty. Her talents might lie in other, more persuasive areas. No, they did not. They did not. Oh my. She must be very persuasive indeed if the king saw it worthwhile to marry her. Bruh. As the two women laugh, I feel something hot begin to burn in my stomach. Viorica takes a sharp breath beside me. Since I became a maid in the palace, Ophelia has been nothing but kind to me, a mere servant. She has all the right to flaunt her status and title, yet she remains humble. I now know that this is why everyone at the palace loves her. Common women like her can only keep a man's attention for so long. Oh my gosh! I start walking towards them without thinking. Oh? What are we going to say? Peak, I wouldn't. You have no right to say those things about the queen. The two women are clearly surprised by my interruption. Both of them glare at me. And you have no right to eavesdrop on us. Eavesdropping? Anyone could have heard you. Their mouths fall open. One of the women looks at me for a long time, then sneers. Wow! One of the women looks at me for a long time, then sneers suddenly, as if something has occurred to her. I thought you looked familiar. You're the crown princess's personal maid. I see you always following around her when she's in town. This is none of your business, girl. Why do you care so much for our opinions? Ah, perhaps it's because the girl idolizes the queen, thinks she might also go from rags to riches. Oh my gosh, these women are so bitter. Ugh. What? Knock him out, knock him out, knock him out. Oh, you do have a point. They stand and advance towards me. Do you want the prince for yourself, girl? Oh my gosh! When? If a commoner can become the queen, it's not too difficult to imagine yourself as a princess, is it? How foolish, you're better off dreaming smaller dreams, girl. They laugh and the irritation in my chest blazes into full-on anger. Oh my, these women are horrible. Is this what Ophelia has been dealing with for the past year? Probably. She is being treated so cruelly when she has done nothing but love the king. And I also ridiculed her just like this. I know we were a horrible person, which is why we got cursed. Catch up, Pete. Golly. I forced myself to look at the cruel women as I moved my hand to the pendant hanging around my neck. I was just as cruel as them. I barely feel Viorca's hand as she rested it on my shoulder. Pete, let it go. Her Majesty wouldn't want you to do this. But I cannot just let these two women talk about Ophelia like this. I pull away from Viorca and stand firm. The Queen has a good heart. She's far more noble than either of you could ever hope to be. I think back on the times I was cruel to her. Ophelia could have easily reprimanded me for my behavior. She had that right as my stepmother. Yet she has been nothing but kind to me. I know! Ophelia is so nice! Ophelia and Emmeline. Ah! Ophelia never got angry at me, even despite my treatment toward her and her family. She has always treated others with kindness, even when they are cruel to her. Judging from the bitterness in your accusations, it seems like you are jealous of her. How pathetic. The other woman marches towards me, and my free hand instinctively moves to hold her hand just before her palm reaches my cheek. Oh, shoot! Ah, I will not tolerate any. Making sure I do. Okay. I will not tolerate any insults toward the Queen. A soft light emanates from the pendant, and I only stare at it in shock. We got our second good deed! I got another good deed? By defending Ophelia? The woman snatches her hand away. How dare a peasant like you talk that way to us? Have you no manners? I could ask you the same. What happened to yours? Oh, savage. How dare you? Don't you know who we are, girl? I don't care, really. I will see you pay for your impertinence. Our words have far more weight than yours ever will. I will go to the king myself and tell him about how rude you were. I can pass on that message myself. Who is that? It's Rod! I turn to see Rod walking towards us, his expression cold. The two noble women, hastily curtsy. Your Highness! The noble women turn pale as Rod's eyes fall on them. Rip! Off with their heads. I'm just kidding, probably not, but... Actually, we have an important dinner engagement. Yes, we do. The two noble women curtsy before quickly departing. What are you doing here without your guards? What trouble have you gotten yourself into now? Alright. Should we tell him, or should we not tell him? Let's be honest, we'll tell him. Those women were insulting the Queen. I thought a lecture was in order. Oh? But everyone is entitled to their own opinion. What? I narrow my eyes at him. Something like this can't be helped. Bad rumors are unavoidable. Rod looks away, his expression suddenly pained. This wouldn't have happened if I hadn't wished for... Wished for what? Wished for what? Okay, bruh. He won't tell us. Dumb. Alright. Rod never finishes the sentence. He clears his throat before looking at us again. What was he going to say? We shouldn't keep you from returning home, Viorca. I'll take Pete back to the palace. Viorca's eyes narrow, and she looks ready to say something, but Rod has already reached out for my hand and pull me along behind him. Is this the correct one? Is this the correct one? No? Yes? What? Do... My eyes narrow as I recognize the path we are on. This is not the way back to the palace. No, it isn't. We're going to the Martian. Again? Why? Because I was on my way there before I was forced to take a detour because someone was drawing attention to herself. Uh, what? But Rod ignores me, and we walk the rest of the way to the Martian in silence. Okay, that was not correct. Alright. Go back. Why do I keep choosing the wrong ones? Do not tell him. It is nothing. If you refuse to tell me what happened, I will have to assume that the noblewomen were telling the truth about you. Peek has done nothing wrong. Yeah, Viorica! I like her. She's so sweet. In fact, I think Peek only did what you or Emmeline would have done had you heard the awful things those women were saying about your mother. What? She stood up for the queen when she didn't have to. Then why didn't you just say so? Would you have believed me? Rod drops his gaze from mine. You never gave me a chance to believe you, did you? Uh, bruh. But the other one was wrong! He would have believed me? How am I to know that? Rod is like a walking contradiction. Rod glances up again, this time to look at Viorica. We shouldn't keep you from returning home, Viorica. I'll take Peek back to the palace. Peek's eyes narrow, and she looks ready to say something, but Rod has already reached for my hand to pull me along beside him. Behind him. When we are out of sight of Viorica's shop, Rod stops, releasing my hand as he turns to face me. Did you really think I would refuse to believe you if you told me the truth? You never liked me. You have no reason to believe me. Rod sighs, running a hand through his hair. I told you that I would help you break your curse, right? That offer alone should be enough for you to know that I... Oh! Rod turns away, suddenly looking embarrassed. That I don't dislike you anymore. You're expecting me to just assume that? How would I know unless you made that absolutely clear? Well, I'm making it clear now. I understand. Anyways, thank you for standing up for my mother. It seems like you don't require my assistance in breaking your curse after all. He gestures to my necklace. Congratulations on your second good deed, Peek. Sorry. Suddenly tongue-tied. I'm laughing at myself for not being able to read. Uh, Suddenly tongue-tied, I find myself looking everywhere but at Rod. When I have once again gathered my senses, I turn to the road. My eyes narrow as I recognize the path we are on. This is not the way back to the palace. No, it isn't. We're going to the Martian. Why? Because I was on my way there before I was forced to take a detour because someone was drawing attention to herself. What? But Rod ignores me, and we walk the rest of the way to the Martian in silence. Okay. That was a lot of words. So much reading. So much reading. Alright, Waltz is the only person in the reception room when we enter. Prince Rod? Princess? It's a little late for the two of you to be here. I had meant to be here earlier. Is Lady Parfait here? Waltz nods. I'll go get her. Wait here. As soon as Waltz leaves us alone, Rod turns to me. Why do I struggle with that word? I know what the word is, but every time I try to say it, I'm like... Okay. Rod turns to me, his expression rigid. Rod steps closer and grabs my shoulders. Whoa! Whoa! I wasn't able to say so earlier because we were out in public, but you should know just how much danger you're in right now. And yet you thought it was okay to go around on your own? It was my day off today. It is not it is not unreasonable for me to want time to myself. Time for myself. Time to yourself. Don't you understand the meaning of be careful? Why would you do something as foolish as to going out into town alone? I couldn't help but bristle at his tone. Dang, bro, you're like gripping. Hold on. Is there a. No, hold on. I was trying to see if I could. He's like gripping her arm. Golly. Let go. Why are you so angry? Because you're. Rod trails off and looks away. Because you're family. Woo! Ugh. So you're finally acknowledging me as family? This is really weird. I'm very uncomfortable. I noticed his cheeks turning red. To be honest, you're less of a family member and more just important. Important? Because all because of all that you do for Emmeline. You're important to my sister. He looks uncomfortable as he says the words, and I cannot help but marvel at his embarrassment. Why is he so embarrassed? But Rod changes the topic as he turns away from me. Why are you with Viorica? I can only think of one reason you'd speak to her. My curse. You thought you'd find out about my curse through her? I shrug. I can only assume that your curse has something to do with Viorica. I mean, yeah. I look up when Rod says something, then stare at the curious sight before me. Rod has taken Sebby off of his shoulder and is holding the doll in his hands away from his face. The two seem to be engaged in some silent conversation. Then gently Sebby speaks words that I can hear. This is the right thing to do. You need to let her help you, Rod. Rod bites down on his lower lip before briefly closing his eyes. Eventually he returns Sebby to his usual spot on his shoulder and turns to me. Fine, you're stubborn and you're not going to quit investigating unless I tell you, aren't you? Nope, 'cause I'm nosy. You're right. Viorica is the reason I was cursed. Rod sits down on the settee. Why is this word? Satay? 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 I think it's satay. And lets out a heavy sigh. His eyes are far away as he speaks to me. I was in love with Viorica, but I wasn't brave enough to tell her. I just followed her around like some kind of puppy. One day Viorica hadn't come home, and it was raining very heavily, so I went out to look for her. I found her walking along the bank of the river. I called out to her to tell her to be more careful, but I don't think she ever heard me. She slipped and Rod swallows. He clenches one of his hands into a fist. She fell into the river. I dived in after her. I somehow managed to get both of us onto the riverbank, but it didn't look like Viorica was breathing. I didn't know what to do. I started panicking. I ran off to try and find help, but I couldn't find anyone in the storm. When I returned, she was gone. I rushed to her house, and a doctor was already there tending to her, along with Desmond. Rod's gaze is vacant as he nods. So Desmond took Rod's glory, basically, of saving her. She thinks Desmond saved her when he didn't. He just took her to a doctor. Aw, that's so sad. Rod's gaze is vacant as he nods. When Viorica began to fall in love with Desmond, I felt helpless. Did you not tell her that you were the one that saved her? Why would I? Viorica was so happy believing that she and Desmond were fated to be together. I couldn't do that to her. Oh, that's so sad! That's so sad! Oh! But surely if you told her. Rod interrupts me. I want the people I love to be happy. I don't care if their happiness causes me pain. I'd rather bear that alone instead of bringing down those around me. That's so sad. That's so sad. Oh my god. Oh. My chest aches as I watch Rod's face. Bro! I feel so bad for him! I never would have guessed that Rod would be so selfless. I know, right? But that didn't stop me from thinking that I could still make her love me instead. I decided to become I decided to become what I thought Viorica wanted most. The Prince Charming of the fairy tales she so adored. And so I asked a witch to turn me into one. She stole my voice in exchange. Only then did I realize she had inflicted the fairy tale curse upon me. The mermaid's curse. Oh my gosh! The next day, the king turned up at our house proclaiming that he'd been looking for my mother for years and that he never stopped loving her. Never stopped loving her. When the king married my mother, I became a prince. It it was just as the witch promised. Oh my gosh. But it didn't matter. I didn't see it when I made the deal with the witch, but I couldn't be blind to it forever. Decimon and Viorca really do love each other. They make each other happy. Nothing I can do will ever change that. This is so sad. Rod, Parfait! Of course! Prince Rod? Oh, I have hiccups. Pain. Okay. Oh! Parfait pauses in her tracks when she sees me. Have I interrupted something? No. No! Rod moves over to Parfait, but he stops to glance back at me. I won't be long. Parfait looks at Rod, then at me, her face puzzled, but she does not say a word as Rod and her leave the room. So I guess to break the curse, Viorca has to fall in love with him? And that's why he refuses to break the curse, because he doesn't want Viorca to resent him or something. That's so sad. I did not get the chance to discuss Rod's curse with him later that night, nor did I get the chance to speak with Parfait and Delora about my suspicions of Sir Alcaster. Days go by, but still I find myself overwhelmed by preparations for the ball. Things become more frantic every day, making it difficult for me to have any time to speak with anyone. Sorry. Eventually, I decide to write a letter containing my suspicions of Sir Alcaster. I tell Parfait and Delora that I believe he might be the witch they are looking for. I also add that I believe Fritz might somehow be involved. Fritz might somehow be involved, though my suspicions are not as well founded with him. To make matters worse, he went and disappeared. I have not heard anyone mention his name for a very long time. I am forcefully pulled from my thoughts when I collide with someone. The linens I had been holding scatter over the floor. Excuse me, I did not. I look up and my voice trails off when I see who I bumped into. Lost in your thoughts? Sir Mithros! Sir Mithros looks at me, something veiled in his smiling eyes. I suppose those are the linens the Queen asked for? Yes, please excuse me. I begin to gather up the linens, but as I reached out for one, Sir Mithras picks it up first. Allow me to help you. I will be fine. But this was partially my fault. Let me assist you. Well, thanks, I guess. I bite my lips and do not protest as Sir Mithras helps me gather the rest of the linens. Take a sip of coffee. I am contemplating my schedule for the rest of the day when I realize that Sir Mithras has been talking. I don't suppose you have any idea on who that maid is? Which maid? Maid? There's a cold amusement in Sir Mithras's gaze. Surely you've heard the rumor of the young prince having been seen with a royal maid somewhere around town? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Rumor has it that Prince Rod has found love among the common folk, much like his royal stepfather has. Rod with a maid? As far as I'm aware, the only maid he's been out in town with has been. Uh-oh. I freeze as Sir Mithras straightens, patting down his clothes for dust before holding out some of the linens to me. If it is true, I wish him the best. Though I wish he would be more discreet about it. Yeah. A royal scandal is the last thing we need right now. I shakily take the I shakily take the linens from Sir Mithras as he inclines his head to me. Ah! Have a good day, Peak. I just want to read. I just want to read. I walked to the dining hall in a haze, my mind whirling with the implications of what Sir Mithras just said. Oh no. I am sure it was those noblewomen who spread this rumor. Probably. Ah, Peak! Thank you for bringing these to me. Just leave them on the table. I curtsy after placing the linens down as commanded. If that is all, Peak. I straighten at the tone of Ophelia's voice. When I look up, I see that her expression is carefully still. I am about to ask you something that you might not want to answer, but I very much hope you will. I will answer if I can. Sorry. Good. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. Ophelia sighs as she sits down on one of the dining table chairs and folds her hands on her lap. I have been trying to ignore it since palace gossip is mostly false, but I can't help my curiosity, I bet. I wanted to ask about your relationship with my son. Okay. Well, what? I understand. You and Rod were out together in town a few days ago. Do you want to tell me what happened? Uh-oh. Um, should we dismiss the gossip or explain the situation? I'm thinking. I'm gonna dismiss. I fight the urge to roll my eyes. How can Ophelia believe such nonsense? The rumors are baseless. Then Rod didn't step in to defend you from those noblewomen? How did she know about that? Rod probably told her. Ophelia sighs as she takes in my shocked expression. You don't need to hide anything from me, Pete. Did you think I would be mad if the rumors were true? Regardless, a member of the royal family cannot end up with a servant. Where there's love, there's hope. Social social status shouldn't stop you from being happy, Pete. Then what about the fact that I am brought back? Yeah. Then what about the fact that I am Rod's stepsister? Literally. Literally. I bite down on that statement fiercely. I already know what role I am playing here, and I cannot break it. Ophelia looks at me with a complicated expression before she sighs. I will not push you on this any further. But be careful, Peak. Your closeness with my son and daughter has not gone unnoticed. RIP! I do not believe in limiting the relationships because of one's status, but I understand. I curtsy as I move towards the dining hall's entrance. What did Ophelia mean by that closeness not going unnoticed? Later that day, as I am waiting outside the throne... Ah! As I am waiting outside the throne room for Emmeline to finish one of her classes, two maids walk toward me and stop in front of me. Great. Peak, isn't it? What is it? I have already finished all of my tasks for the day. Oh, I'm sure you have. Probably rushed through all of them so that you could hang around the prince and princess tonight. Oh my gosh. The head house. Oh wait, it wasn't the right choice. I didn't realize that until just now. I just realized it wasn't. Explain the situation. If Ophelia is asking me about these rumors, then I can only imagine what sort of story those women made up. Prince Rod was just on his way somewhere when he chanced upon me. When he saw that I was in trouble with two noblewomen, he stopped to intervene. That is all. Rod said the same thing. Then why did you ask me, Your Majesty? To see what you thought about the situation. I don't think anyone should get a say in what your relationship with Rod is. My relationship with Rod? I like you, Peak, and I am certain that you are good for Rod. If I had my way, I would let him court you. Ugh! I feel heat in my cheeks as I trip over my words. The prince and I are not in a relationship. A member of the royal family cannot end up with a servant. Alright, we're skipping to where we were. Cool. So, the maids are attacking us. Hang around the prince and princess tonight. The head housekeeper has been giving you a lighter load so you can afford the time to play around, I blink at them, confused. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb. All the servants know what you've been doing. Just because you're Princess Emmeline's personal maid doesn't make you better than the rest of us. I'd be careful not to get too big for your boots. Are you threatening me? What if we are? Then I'd be very disappointed in you. Emmeline! Emmeline! She's so sweet, I love her. Princess Emmeline. Emmeline. Frick! Emmeline moves to stand beside me, a disapproving expression on her face. I did not expect such petty cruelty from the two of you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your Highness, you really do have a talent for getting yourself into trouble. I'm sorry. Rod. Rod pauses briefly, his eyes meeting mine for a second before he looks at the maids. Don't you have better things to do than bully my sister's maid? We apologize, Your Highness. We will be on our way. Emmeline! To our rescue! The two maids run off. Emmeline turns to look at me. Are you okay? I'm about to answer when I notice that Rod is abruptly walking away from us. I frown at his back. He had only just started being nice to me, and now he is back to acting as if I do not exist. What did I do? Emmeline puts her hands on my back and gently pushes me forward. You wanted to ask him something, right? I could see it in your eyes. Emmeline smiles as she pushes the door to the throne room open. I have a few more questions I'll ask my teacher. I'll be a while. But she disappears into the throne room before I can finish. I glanced down the hallway. Rod just disappeared down. Then back in the throne room. My thoughts whirl together in a vague mess until I make my decision. Wait! I'm surprised it didn't make us choose. At the sound of my approaching footsteps, Rod turns and looks at me. He scowls but does not say anything. Oh, I'm right. Tell him off. The words spill out of me before I can even think on them. What have I done now to make you so angry with me? Nothing. He turns away and I glare as I follow closely behind him. You expect me to believe that? You can at least look at me when I'm talking to you. I, I reach a hand out to his elbow and pull him back so that he is facing me. Rod. But the words die in my throat when I see the expression on his face. His face is red and he refuses to look at me in the eye. Oh, that was correct. So we just gotta be mean to him. Okay. My wait, whoops. My surprise causes me to release him. Rod quickly turns around and begins to walk away. I am left to stare dumbly after him. What is wrong with him? Normally he is not so afraid to speak his mind. I, I frown as I feel a dull ache throbbing somewhere deep in my chest. What is this? Why do I feel sad? Normally Rod's distance does not make me feel like this. And yet now... Sorry. And now, am I really so sad that he does not want to speak with me? I shake my head and take a deep breath to still my mind. It is better to not think about it. We finally made it to chapter 8! Chapter 8, The Ball. Chapter 7 was so long. Oh my goodness. That was so long. That was like probably a whole hour. It is the day of the ball, and I am waiting for Emmeline to finish her last dance rehearsal. The lesson was over an hour ago, but Emmeline remains here to continue practicing the steps. Meanwhile, I am wow! Okay. Meanwhile, I am preoccupied with the thoughts of Rod's curse. I cannot believe that Rod traded his voice for a title. So the reason the king was able to find Ophelia was because of Rod. That's crazy. It is. Wait, so if Rod's curse breaks, does that mean that the king won't love Ophelia anymore? That would be really sad. It is a little difficult to wrap my head around the implications, but one thing bothers me. Rod told me why he has the curse, but he gave no explanation as to how to break it. How did it go in the original fairy tale? You're gonna have to read the book, but I already know what happens. Emmeline finishes up the last steps of her routine before walking over to me. I hand her the glass of water I was holding for her. Thank you, Pete. Of course. Emmeline must notice my curiosity because she stops to look at me quizzically. Is something the matter? I read a little bit of that fairy tale, but never finished it. Can you tell me the whole story of the Little Mermaid? The Little Mermaid? Emmeline takes a seat on one of the chairs bordering the throne room and gestures for me to take one opposite her. Telling a fairy tale is always a good way to wind down. Once upon a time, there was a mermaid that fell in love with a handsome prince. One day, when she swam to the surface of the ocean to find him, she saw that the prince was celebrating his birthday on the grandest ship in the kingdom. The little mermaid was captivated by the human party and stayed to watch. Then suddenly a violent storm hit, and the prince was thrown from the ship into the ocean. The little mermaid saved the prince and took him safely to shore. But she could not stay long. She eventually had to return to the ocean and leave him on land. This is similar to Viorica's rescue. The little mermaid was so in love with the prince that she went to see a witch who offered to trade her a potion that would turn her mermaid's tail into legs. They struck a deal. The mermaid would sacrifice her beautiful voice for legs so that she could live with the prince on land. So in Rod's case, he traded his voice away to become a prince. However, the sea witch gave the little mermaid a warning and said that if she wasn't able to make the prince fall in love with her, there would be consequences. Consequences? Yes, namely, if the prince fell in love and married someone else, the mermaid's heart would break and she would dissolve into sea foam. Cannot help but recoil. My expression must betray my horror because Emmeline quickly shakes her head. There's no need to be worried. Rod has said that his curse is different from the fairy tale. And you believe him? I do not believe him. I feel like he is lying straight to your face. Emmeline shrugs helplessly as she puts down her now empty glass of water. The fairy tale curse always twists the original fairy tale, right? Besides, it's not as if Rod traded his voice for legs, and I've never heard of a cursed person that dies because they cannot break their curse. But what if he does? That may be true, but Emily does not know that he traded his voice for... She does not know that he did it to become a prince for Viorica. Rod is already hiding things from her. It is possible that Rod will die the day Viorica marries... Is it possible that Rod will die the day Viorica marries Desmond? Rip? Actually, no, that's really inappropriate. I should not say that. I take that back. That's wrong. I should not say that. Later that day, I find Rod in the dining hall. He appears to be inspecting the seating arrangements for the night's banquet. He glances briefly to look at me before returning his attention to the place cards with the guest names on them. What is it? I have been looking for you all morning. I'm distracted from what I'm about to say when I notice Rod switching the position of two place cards. I frown as I catch the name on one of them. He's moving Viorca's place at the table. Is he trying to make sure she sits as far away from him as possible? Surely you have better things to do than stay here. Stay in here. What happens if you cannot break your curse? Rod's movements stutter before he shakes his head sharply. That is something you do not need to know. Get angry at him. Rod's coldness grates at me and I find myself snapping at him. What's wrong with you? Excuse me? All I am doing is trying to help you break your curse, but you are acting as if I'm trying to help you will only make things worse. No, I am only insisting that I do not need your help. We are partners, Rod. I know that doesn't seem to mean much to you, but it means something to me. I intentionally soften my tone when I realize that I have been shouting at him. You should let me help you. What for? Just because you've somehow managed to get two good deeds on your own does not mean you can help me at all. Frustration courses through me as I clench my hands into fists. Why must he be so stubborn? If he's so certain that I will not be able to help him, is he so certain that I will not be able to help him at all? Emmeline told me the story of the Little Mermaid. She said that the mermaid dies if the prince marries someone else. Rod, when Viorica marries Desmond, will you... My voice trails off when I hear the sound of the door behind us. Is it Ophelia or the king? Rod rushes forward and grabs me before I can glance back at the door. Ow! Okay, I don't think that was the right one. Why do we choose the wrong one? Every time. We keep choosing the wrong one. Plead with him. Something aches deep in my chest at Rod's coldness. Please. Ugh. Rod startles so strongly that he almost drops the play card he's holding. Please tell me. We've been partners for months now. But I've barely... Yes, I know that it is wow! An unusual partnership. and that most of our helping each other has been subtle, but I am only one good deed away from breaking my curse, while you seem to be no closer to breaking your curse than when we started. I'll do whatever I can to help you with your curse, Rod. So please let me help you. Silence Silence falls. Moments later, Rod sighs and looks away from me. Some unspeakably sad emotion shines through his eyes. Even if I wanted your help, Pete, there's nothing you can do. Dread settles in the pit of my stomach at Rod's words. Could I be right? Will Rod Wow! Help! Will Rod actually die if he does not manage to break his curse? Emmeline told me the story of the Little Mermaid. She said that the mermaid dies if the prince marries someone else. Rod, when Viorca marries Desmond, will you... My voice trails off when I hear the sound of the door behind us. Is it Ophelia? Or the king? Rod rushes forward and grabs me before I can glance back at the door. Ow! I become aware of a weight holding me down to the floor. The impact of the ground against my head blurs my vision, making it impossible for me to see what is happening at first. Dang, bro, you made us hit our head! Am I underneath the dining table? I struggle to try and sit up, but the weight pushes down on me again, forcing me to be still. Quiet. Rod? Why did he push me underneath the table? I'm about to ask him aloud when the sound of footsteps silences me. I cannot help but remember what Sir Mithras was saying about rumors. If Rod and I were seen alone together by the servants, the rumors will no doubt get worse. But why is Rod doing this? I stay quiet as the people that enter the dining hall begin to talk. How strange for this place to be empty at this time of day. There's a pause, and then another voice speaks up. You better have good news for me, Mithras. Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithras? Oh! Rod's hands tighten on my shoulders. Everything is as you requested, Sir Alcaster. There should be no issues. There better not be. You've disappointed me before, Mithras. I would be careful not to try my patience again. Yes, Sir Alcaster. Sir Mithras sounds oddly subservient. Subservient, yeah. But why? The two of them are both ranked equally, and neither of them should have to answer anyone other than the king. Unless Sir Alcaster truly is the witch, and is forcing Sir Mithras to obey him under a spell. Wait a few minutes after I leave. We should not be seen together. I do not hear Sir Mithras respond, but I can hear Sir Alcaster leaving the room. Sir Mithras sighs out, but is otherwise silent when he leaves the room after a few moments. I exhale fully as the door finally closes behind Sir Mithras. This is bad. I was so engrossed in Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithras' conversation that I only just now realized that Rod is hovering over me. Get off of me. Hey, are you alright? Get off! Are you hurt? I'm fine. Get off. You look a little... Rod suddenly pauses as he notices our position. He stares at me for a few moments, eyes wide. He scrambles out from underneath the dining table, and by the time I do the same, he's standing far away from me, his gaze fixed on the wall. He's bright red. It would be funny if I weren't sure I was the same color. Rod clears his throat. It seems that Sir Alcaster really is the witch if he has the ability to make Sir Mithras obey him. Lady Parfait should be told immediately. Rod turns on his heel to leave the dining room. Rod, wait. What? This is urgent, Princess. I can't just... When Viorca marries Desmond, will you die? Rod pauses for a moment, but I can tell from his pained expression that he will not speak. You're running out of time, Rod. Sebby! My eyes split between Sebby and Rod. What does that mean? Nothing. He turns away from me once again and starts walking away. Rod. There must be something in my voice that makes Rod stop, because he turns to look at me. Please stop running away from this. What would knowing the answer achieve, Peak? Though his words are harsh, his tone is soft. There's nothing anyone can do. Leave it alone, Peak. It is for the best. So he is going to die. That's so sad. I cannot help but get mad at Rod's dismissive tone. I move toward him, frowning. How can you say something like that? You are not the only person that will be affected if you keep refusing to do anything to break your curse. Can you imagine what your death would do to your sister? To your mother? Losing you would destroy them. Rod's face suddenly inches away from mine. He places his hands on the wall behind me, caging me in. His face is flushed with anger, but the look in his eyes is tormented. Tormented. My family has been dealing with the consequences of my actions for the majority of my life. Don't think that I don't know what effect my curse has on the people closest to me. Besides, I don't want to involve you in this too. His voice is a whisper, but I can still hear his words. Rod. Rod pushes away from me and stalks off as I stare after him. He says that, but then he still does nothing to try and break his curse. I do not understand him at all. What is stopping him? Rod is absent from the palace for the rest of the day, and returns only once the sun has set to prepare for the ball. I have not been able to talk to him since, but I assume that he has been to the Martian to tell Delora and Parfait about our suspicions of Sir Alcaster being a witch. I hope they come up with an effective plan for dealing with him. The palace is not safe, so long as he is here. The ball is just about to start that evening, and I have been asked to make sure none of the guests are lost and wandering the hallways. I have been walking around for a while, directing any late guests in the right direction. That should be everyone. But as I turn the corner, I notice two people lingering by a column. Excuse me, the throne room is... I pause when I look more closely at the two men in front of me. I recognize one of them instantly. What is Sir Alcaster doing outside the throne room? And who is that man he's with? Who is that? Ah, Peak. Sir Alcaster gestures me toward him, and I approach warily. This is Varg. He is one of the guests for the ball. Varg sweeps aside his cape as he bows, and I curtsy and dip my head to hide my expression. I have not heard of a Varg, and why would he be bowing to a mere maid? Also, why is he wearing such an elaborate costume and mask? Who is this? This is not a masquerade ball. If Varg is an acquaintance of Sir Alcaster, there is no telling what or who he truly is. Varg is one of the suitors for Princess Emmeline. Would you please escort him to the throne room? I will be along shortly. Varg's politeness is even more suspicious. Of course, Sir Alcaster. I meet Varg's gaze briefly, and cannot help but frown at the way he is smirking at me. This way. Who is this? I don't understand. Varg and I make our way toward the throne room. I cannot help but feel wary of the fact that he is following behind me, where I cannot see him. Of the maid, if the maids are this lovely, the princess must truly be beautiful. Must be truly beautiful. Gross. Ugh. Varg laughs and I grit my teeth at the sound. What? It was meant as a compliment. And men like you are why women choose the bear. I'm kidding, but not really. There's no need to look at me like that. Varg looks at me curiously. Are maids not allowed to speak in this place? I have nothing to say. Not the most cheerful person on staff, are you? Thankfully, the doors to the throne room appear as soon as we turn a corner, and I do not have to come up with a response to his words. We are here. I gestured I gestured toward the throne room and moved to leave, but Varg's voice stops me. You should at the very least escort me inside and introduce me to the princess, don't you think? Isn't that what a maid should do? I have hiccups. I'm sorry. Technically, that is the announcer's job, but Varg came so late he probably already missed the introductions. I wouldn't want to think badly of any of the servants at the palace. I take a deep breath to calm myself down before turning towards the doors. Follow me. I could tell the moment I stepped into the room that the official introductions have already passed. Most of the guests have already begun to mingle and scatter across the throne room as the band sets up. No one notices when I walk through the throne room in front of Varg. I do not trust Varg, not if he is associated with Sir Alcaster. I might have time to warn someone about him while he is distracted, but who? I feel like we should warn Emmeline. I mean, he's about to dance with her. I'm gonna warn Emmeline. My attention is quickly drawn to where Emmeline is moving between groups of people, introducing herself and making light conversation. I know this will be frowned upon, but Emmeline's safety must come first. I make my way quickly over to Emmeline and Kirsty just off to the side to draw as little attention to myself as possible. Princess Emmeline, may I have a word? Emmeline is clearly shocked at my intrusion, but she masks it well. Excuse me, it appears my maid has something for me. I draw her closer to the walls where the crowd blocks us from view. I wasn't expecting you to be here, Peek. Not that I mind, but won't you get in trouble? There's no time for that. I take her hand in mine and look at her somberly. You have to watch out for this man in a mask. Sir Alcaster brought him to the ball. Why should I be worried, then? I cannot exactly tell her that I think he is a witch right now. There are too many people looking. Just please be wary of him. I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about from anyone here, Pete, especially if Sir Alcaster is involved. On the contrary, if Sir Alcaster is involved, I would also recommend staying on your guard, Emmeline. Rod? I turn in shock to see Rod suddenly standing beside me. You should trust Peek. Yay, that was the right choice. I felt like Emmeline was the right option. I mean, yeah. Excuse me. I jump back at the sound of Varg's voice. Rod takes a step forward and places his hands on my shoulders to steady me. I don't believe we've been introduced. Varg looks at me for a few moments, but I say nothing. He eventually turns to Emmeline, a wolfish smile on his face. Sorry. Did not mean to sneeze. Okay. My name is Varg, and you must be Princess Emmeline. The tales of your beauty did not do you justice. Emmeline flushes as Varg reaches for her hand. He presses a kiss to the back of it, still grinning. I can feel Rod tense behind me. May I have the first dance? Emmeline bites down on her lower lip as she stares at him. I become acutely aware of just how quiet the throne room has become. She cannot refuse him with so many people watching her. I feel sick, but I cannot bring myself to say anything more as Emmeline puts her hand in Varg's. I accept, Lord Varg. The moment Emmeline makes her way to the center of the dance floor, a man signals to the band, and the musicians start playing. This feels wrong. I can only nod as I watch Varg pull Emmeline closer. At first it is just he and Emmeline dancing, but then the other couples gradually trickle in and to join them. I do not like this at all. Rod and I watch in silence as the first dance continues on. I know for a fact that Rod must see the dreamy smile on Emmeline's face as certainly as I can. When the music stops, both of us stop as one toward Emmeline. Even though the dance is over and Varg has released her, they still stand close together in the center of the room. Oh? Tea? Alright. I think I'm gonna take a quick little break just to stretch a little bit and take a breather and also get more water because I'm out of water, but I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I just went to go get water really quickly because I am dehydrated and my voice keeps trying to cut out, so that is not good, especially in a reading game. But yeah, let me fix my headphone. Sorry. Okay. Da 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 da. Silence. Wow. The silence is interrupted when the double doors open, and Sir Alcaster, along with two knights, stalk to the center of the room where Emmeline and Varg stand. Their arrival causes an uneasy stir in the crowds. The king rises from his throne, eyebrows drawn. Why did he walk in? Alcaster, is there some kind of disturbance? Alcaster says nothing as the knights stationed around the room approach Emmeline and Varg and stand around them, encircling them. Emmeline's expression shifts from confusion to fear. The crowd becomes even more anxious. Um, bruh. Alcaster, explain this. Alcaster glances briefly at him but says nothing. He turns back to his knights and snaps his fingers. The knights pull out their swords and point them at Emmeline. Oh my gosh! Em! I reach out to grab Rod's hand before he can make his way towards her. Rod, it's too dangerous. I know, but thoughtless actions have the potential to put Emmeline in even more danger. Rod's only response is to tighten his grip on my hand. I place my other hand over his to reassure him. But slowly but surely his grip begins to loosen. I turn my gaze back to the king. Alcaster, stop this immediately. What do you think you're doing? Something I should have done a long time ago. I have been nothing but loyal to this kingdom, and all I have ever wanted was for Angiel to thrive. But ever since the queen died, this kingdom has become weak. It is because you are a weak ruler, Gennaro. Oh my... what? The people were more productive back then, more disciplined during the late queen's reign. The kingdom has become less productive without fear to drive them. When there is power, there is order. Power is not something that should be needlessly used to control people. It is used to protect them. You, of all people, should know that. Sir Alcaster shakes his head. I, of all people, know that order is what makes a hierarchy stronger. I am only doing what is necessary. I am reorganizing the system. Hand over the crown, Gennaro. Sir Alcaster turns his head to Varg, who remains standing beside a scared Emmeline. You will obey me if you do not want your precious daughter harmed. Please leave my daughter out of this. Emmeline steps back, her eyes now brimming with tears. Varg, seize the princess. As soon as Sir Alcaster gives the order, Rod immediately lets go of my hand and rushes towards his sister. Rod, no! I quickly follow after him, but Rod suddenly stops in his tracks. I bump abruptly into his back. Rod? Varg! Sir Alcaster's booming voice echoes around the room, which has suddenly gone eerily silent. My eyes move to Varg, but he is standing motionless. What is happening? Finally, Varg smirks. He steps aside, standing in front of Emmeline as if to block her from view. Sir Varg! You must be delusional, old man. I am not letting you anywhere near the princess. Oh, thank goodness! Uh, the knight's next movements are a blur as they rush at Sir Alcaster. In mere moments, he has been disarmed and pinned to the ground. Several more knights have also appeared from behind to surround Sir Alcaster. A man emerges from in between the circle of knights. He moves to stand. He moves. Help! Stop lagging. Okay. He moves to stand beside Varg and Emmeline. Sir Mithras looks at Sir Alcaster disdainfully. What is the meaning of this, Mithras? We had a deal. The anger is now palpable in Sir Alcaster's flushed face. Did we now? Mithras, explain yourself. Sir Mithras drops to one knee in front of the king. Of course, your majesty. He raises his head slightly to look at the king. I have known for a long while that the man you see before you is a traitor. I was even aware of his plans, but I could not tell you of them without any evidence. 2 of your knights had tried to inform you of these plans before, but we all looked down on them with disdain. I had to make sure that I did not come unprepared like they did. Are they talking about Garland and Jurian? I think so. Jurian and Garland? Yeah! What? Both of them knew of Sir Alcaster's plans? What was the reason why they were dishonorably... Was that the reason why they were dishonorably discharged? For false accusations? I knew enough of his plan that I could thwart it. This is why I thought the best way to reveal his dastardly ways was to was to craft a fake alliance with him. Crazy. Sir Varg and I have been working together to unravel Alcaster's plans, Your Majesty. Varg is an invaluable accomplice. Wait, so Sir Mithras has been pretending to work with Sir Alcaster this whole time? And so we arrive at the events of tonight. I apologize for undertaking this task without seeking your counsel, Your Majesty. But I could think of no better way to end this madness once and for all. You lying snake! Sir Mithras stands and turns to Alcaster. He gestures at him dismissively. Seize him. The knight's next movements are a blur. The men rush Sir Alcaster all at once. In a mere moment, Sir Alcaster has been disarmed and is now pinned to the ground. Isn't Sir Alcaster a witch? Why is he not using his magic? Mithras, I am indebted to you for saving us. The whole kingdom is. I only did what was necessary, Your Majesty. I'm confused. I thought he was a witch too. So if he's not a witch, what? The king glances at the knights, then at Sir Alcaster, his gaze steely. Take him away. Sir Alcaster struggles uselessly against the knights as they drag him away. He is nearly out the door when he starts screaming at the king. Gennaro, you are a fool. That man is a witch. A snake. You cannot trust him. No, Alcaster, I was wrong to put my trust in you. Is Sir Mithras the witch? Even as Sir Alcaster is pulled from the room, we can hear him babbling in the hallways about a witch. Sir Alcaster never used any magic to escape. Was he truly not a witch? Are you all right, Princess? I am pulled from my thoughts when I hear Varg's voice. He is now trying to comfort a shaken Emmeline. For a few moments he looks away and his eyes meet mine. He smiles, but it is fleeting, and moments later his attention is back on Emmeline. I'm so confused. The ball comes to an abrupt end after Alcaster's stunt. He is thrown into a jail cell and promised a trial after a few days' time, where he will be tried for treason against the kingdom. I still can't believe Sir Alcaster would do something like that. It's so brazenly, too. I wonder, what happened to Sir Fitzgerald? Fritz! What happened to you? They say he vanished completely last night. Do you think he was working with his father? The truth is I have no idea what to think. I don't know either. I had thought that I had everything figured out, but now I'm becoming more and more confused by the moment. Fritz was always loyal to a fault, but then Sir Alcaster was always the same way with the king, and I had not seen or heard of Fritz for weeks. I cannot really say. Ah, good morning, Princess Emmeline. Sir Varg. Varg was offered a room in at the palace for a few days' visit. He's being treated as Sir Mithras' valued guest. Nailed it. I have heard from the other servants that he is Sir Mithras' relative who lives in a neighboring kingdom. Oh. I hope that you're feeling well now, Princess. Yes, thank you for your help last night. Is Emmeline blushing? Oh? I know I won't be here long, but I do hope to get to know you better during the duration of my stay. I would love that. Then I am looking forward to spending more time with you. Oh, I forgot that I am meant to be in my mother's room right now. Peek, Sir Varg, I will see you both later. Bye, Emmeline! I curtsy as Emmeline walks off, leaving me alone with Varg. I cannot help but feel uneasy in his presence. Something about him puts me on edge. He has little piercings. I didn't notice that till just now. Okay. He makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Excuse me, I have errands to attend to. Wait. Before you head out, I have something to give you. Give me? Varg reaches into one of his pockets and withdraws a letter that he holds out to me. Okay. What is this about? Well, I guess you'll have to open it and find out, Princess. He called us Princess again. Uh, no, wait, he didn't call us Princess. It was Sir Alcaster. Well, wait, wait, I'm so confused. If if Sir Alcaster knew we were the princess, who told him that we were the princess? Also, how does he know that we're the princess? What is going on? I'm so confused. My blood turns to ice in my veins. He knows I am the princess, but that could only mean that he is. I have no idea what you are talking about. Excuse me. I'm about to leave when Varg suddenly grabs my wrist. The play is just about to start, Princess. You have a responsibility as the main character to perform impeccably until the very end. Otherwise, well, he grins at me. It's the same wolfish smile that he flashed at me during the ball. You might miss out on your fairy tale ending. What? 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 What is happening? What is happening? Before I can say anything else, I feel a hand grip my other arm. Someone tugs me back and away from Varg, then comes to stand in front of me. Stay away from her. Rod? Varg looks at Rod, then at me, his smiling growing more crooked. What an interesting turn of events. I wonder how this will end for the both of you. Tell me, Beak, what is he to you? I don't know. No answer. Be in denial all you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to decide who and what you will choose. Who or what to choose? What? Oh, that was correct. Okay. Silence. You were harassing one of our staff members. Of course. I apologize for my rude behavior, Your Highness. You seem to know a lot about us. Are you a... I lower my voice. Are you a witch? You're asking the wrong person, Princess. Uh, he knows who you really are? I think you two are worrying too much about me. After all, I'm just a pawn in this game. Varg dips into an elegant bow and flashes one last smile before walking away. This is crazy. I don't even... Oh my gosh. Are you alright? I am. Thank you for helping me. I don't even know what's happening. What's happening? I am. Thank you for helping me. You know I'd do anything for you. What? I know that's my reaction. What? What? Sebi. Sebi is my favorite character. I love him. I probably will change who my favorite character is throughout this whole thing, but yeah. Rod shakes his head before stepping away. Anything? For me? Rod coughs, pulling me from the thought. Oh, it is possible that he is a witch, or he is working with other witches, but we have no evidence to prove it. Until we figure out what's going on, you need to be wary of him. Yeah, I know. Rod smiles at me gently. The look makes my heart thud once, painfully, in my chest. Stop staring at me like that. Like what? I don't know. Rod looks away, his cheeks tinged red. I feel my own cheeks warm at the sight. I wasn't staring at all. Just the silence. Both of you are hopeless. Shut up, Sebi. Rod gives me one last look before finally turning and walking away. I place my hand over my chest where I can still hear my thudding heartbeat. This feeling, if it is what I think it is, then I have no right to feel that way about him. He is my stepbrother. Yeah, literally. I shake my head to clear the thought, then glance down at the letter that Varg just delivered to me. There's only one sentence written on it. Come to the throne room alone tonight. I don't want to! I don't want to! Chapter 9, The Wedding. Wedding? What wedding? What wedding? The wedding. What wedding? Oh! Viorica and Decimon's wedding! I'm stupid, okay? Ignore what I said. The throne room is empty when I arrive. Why would you go? Why would you go? Are you dumb? You're stupid. That was really dumb. Why would you do that? Oh my. You're stupid. Oh my god. No! I can only hope that this is not some sort of trap. It definitely is. Soon after I enter, the door squeaks open and a familiar face enters the room. Oh, Sir Mithras? Sir Mithras walks towards me. When he is close enough, he drops to one knee and bows. I frown as I take a step back from him. My princess, do not be alarmed. I know of your true identity. Oh, fuck! Sir Mithras flashes me a wide smile that causes a shudder to run down my spine. Oh, shit. You know who I am. Then that means you are. I take another step back as the blood drains from my face. Sir Mithras' smile only widens at my reaction. I'll say it for you. Yes, I am a witch. If you are a witch, then Sir Alcaster is a mere human. A fool one. And Varg? Nothing but my personal errand boy. So he isn't a witch? Then how does he, did you just tell him? A thought suddenly occurs to me. If Sir Alcaster was plotting against the kingdom, then did Sir Mithras also punish Fritz somehow? What about Fritz? Was he part of Sir Alcaster's plans? Ah, the knight. To avoid confusing you, let's just say that the situation surrounding him is too complicated to adequately explain. Gosh. I command you to answer my question, Sir Mithras. Was Fritz a part of this? If it makes you feel any better, he refused to be a part of this. Ah, thank gosh. He refused? Does that mean he was not a part of the plans? Or just that he was unwillingly forced to participate in them? Poor Fritz! Fritz! No! Fritz seems so nice! I am certain that Sir Alcaster would not be happy that his own son was disobeying him. He either forced him to help or assigned him outside of the palace. But if Fritz knew of Sir Alcaster's plan, why did he not warn anyone about them? Was he working with Sir Mithras as well? More questions swirl in my head, but none of them have answers. I know, right? I'm so confused. When this is over, I will personally ask Fritz about this. Once I can locate him. Where is Fritz? Poor Fritz! Fritz is like one of our only friends. Shake the thoughts away and bring my attention back to Sir Mithras. Why bother with this reveal? What do you hope to gain from it? Before we start our conversation. Oh, shoot. Sir Mithras waves his hand, conjuring a faint green glow that envelops the whole room. Just in case someone decides to eavesdrop. I wouldn't want any of your witch friends listening in on us. He knows about Delora! Crud. Yes, I am aware that one of them has been snooping around the palace these past few months. Their snooping has made it more difficult to move around without exposing myself. Sir Mithras clicks his tongue in annoyance. Such a nuisance. He's referring to Delora. She and Parfait warned me before that there was a witch in the palace. Is Sir Mithras truly that witch? Oh gosh. I never really trusted him, not even when I was a princess. Now that he has revealed himself as a witch, I need to know what he plans on doing. You knew that I was the princess this entire time, yet you never offered me any assistance. If I had, Sir Alcaster would have targeted you as well. What? Alcaster wanted to dispose of the royal family. If he had known you were the princess, he would have been after you too. It would have been easier with no one remembering you as the princess. But he called us princess. He knows. Was it? Oh, Fudge. But unfortunately, Fritz told his father about you, thinking that Alcaster might be able to help and protect you. And it didn't help that Varg confirmed it. Your mother wouldn't have been happy with me if I put you in harm's way. That is why I had to pretend to not know you in order to protect you. God. Sir Mithras is silent for a few moments before he speaks again. Revealing myself to be a witch was necessary. I had to make myself appear useful to Alcaster somehow, after all. Then, of course, I learned of his foolish plans to steal the crown. I decided to thwart them. Though, not before I stole something from Alcaster first. I played him like the fool he was. I told him that I would aid him with my magic so long as he gave me the knight's protection. Using magic is almost impossible in this place, so having the knights back me up was crucial. The knights? What does he need the knight's protection for? What are his plans? Sir Mithras starts pacing the room, his expression still calm. Can we please get to the point? I'm scared. What is happening? I'm freaking out. I found out that he planned to dispose of me after he obtained what he needed, so I disposed of him first. Rip? Alcaster might have been able to convince most of the knights to aid him by promising them promotions, but, well, my magic is far more convincing. Oh my gosh. Sir Mithras stops in front of me, his deadpan expression transforming into a smile. For now, let us desist to speaking of my plans. The minute Alcaster's plans were thwarted, I knew I had to contact you directly. I am happy to see you in the palace, Your Highness. Oh my gosh. Although, we really need to get you out of these clothes soon. A maid's clothing does not befit a princess like yourself. That does not matter. My priority right now is to break my curse. Ah, of course. They must truly have been frightened to feel the need to curse you. I feel an uncomfortable tug in my heart to think that the Lucius Bearer would actually allow a witch to curse you. Oh, fuck. Oh, no! Sir Mithras shakes his head, disgust written on his features. When you suddenly disappeared that day, it was as if all your traces of existence had vanished. I searched for you endlessly, Princess. When you first appeared here in the palace, I did not recognize you immediately, but I felt a touch of magic in you and investigated. My curiosity is what prompted me to investigate you further. When I tried hard enough, I found and I could see through the glamour that had been cast on you. Oh gosh. So Sir Mithras truly was the witch Parfait was referring to when she mentioned someone seeing through the glamour. Imagine my surprise when I found out that it was actually you. The, that fairy bearer has been nothing but a nuisance to us witches. First she betrayed your mother, then she betrayed you before she had even met you. But mother, she was a Tenebrarum bearer, corrupted by darkness. Parfait only did what she had to. Oh, fudge. Oh, girl. Girl. Sir Mithras looks at me, clearly surprised. What lies have those people been whispering in your ear? Everything the queen did, she did for us witches, to protect us from the wicked humans who destroyed our kind. It is clear to me where Sir Mithras's alliances lie. I mean, okay, I don't agree with like the witch hunt kind of thing, like hunting down the witches, but I also don't agree that retaliation is going to fix everything, because retaliation never fixes anything. Sir Mithras Sir Mith wow. Sir Mithras sighs, runs a hand through his hair, and then continues speaking. On your 18th birthday, you will follow her footsteps. You will make this kingdom, a place for all witches to prosper. Yeah, I am nothing like her. I refuse to make people suffer to fuel the crystal. Yes, yes, ma'am. I never bore witness to the suffering the people had to go through during my mother's reign. But the stories are enough to reveal her true nature to me. It was hard to believe at first, but those people do not have any reason to lie to a servant like myself. They have nothing to gain from it. I finally understand why the hatred people had for me ran so deep, even when I did nothing to them. It was because I was the witch's daughter. Your mother wouldn't be happy to hear you say that. Let me assure you that this is not a destiny you can run from, dear princess. I will not let destiny take control of my life. I feigned tiredness by releasing a yawn. I'm sorry for cutting you short, Sir Mithras, but please excuse me. I am getting tired. I am about to walk past Sir Mithras when he starts speaking again, his voice in a low whisper. Oh God. I noticed that you have gotten closer to the family you despised before, the prince included. Don't you dare hurt Emmeline. Don't you hurt Emmeline. Don't do it. I narrow my eyes at him. You care about him, don't you? I must confess that this surprises me, princess. Such a relationship would certainly be a scandal. Even if you two are not blood related, he's still your stepbrother. Why do we keep bringing this up? We know. Whatever will your dear father say about this? I clench my fist. He has no right to lecture me. I already know that these feelings are wrong. I know that I cannot have them. I assure you that there is nothing between the both of us. Oh, is that so? Are those just are those lies you utter just to convince yourself? This man is beginning to try my patience. Smack him. Hmm. Allow me to share a little secret with you, princess. I am not interested. I head for the door and reach for the knob. Oh, but I think it is something you will be most curious about. I do, after all, know the consequences of the prince failing to break his curse. I also happen to know that someone special to him is getting married tomorrow. My hand freezes. How do you know about all of this? I know all of the happenings around this palace. That is my job, princess. Were you the witch that he asked to curse? Now tell me, do you know the ending to the fairy tale of the Little Mermaid? My blood runs cold when I remember what Emmeline told me about that fairy tale. If the prince fell in love and married someone else, the Little Mermaid's heart would break and she would dissolve into sea foam. I conducted my own investigation and actually met the witch who bestowed the curse on the prince. Okay, so he was not the one that cursed him. Got it. In meeting her, I found out everything that there is to know about it. I turned to regard Mithras with a frown. Seems I have finally gotten your attention. What do you plan on doing to Rod? Sir Mithras shrugs. To him? Nothing, really. I was merely curious. I wanted to know what you saw in him. What do you know about his curse? It stays true to the fairy tale, only in this case the prince gives up his voice for a title. Still, it will end the same way. The girl will fall in love with someone else, despite his sacrifice. You mean, on his beloved's wedding day, the prince will die? I thought you might have reached the same conclusion. I mean, I kinda did. I had a feeling. Tragic, don't you think? That's horrible! Ugh, dang. I had the same thought, but is Rod truly going to die? So the reason Rod gave up breaking his curse was because he knew that Viorica would never love him back. He knew that he was going to die the moment Viorica married. Oh, crud. Dread begins to wash over me. Why not ask him yourself? As if orchestrated by magic, the double doors open and Rod steps inside. When he sees me, his expression relaxes. I've been looking all over for you. I wanted to speak with you about my discussion with Lady Parfait. I turn around to face Sir Mithras again, but to my surprise, he is already gone. When does Sir Mithras leave? Pique? Is something wrong? Was Sir Mithras really speaking the truth? Oh no. This is sad. Dang. Ask him. Is it true that you will die when Viorica marries Decimon? I see you're still stuck on the same theory. Have you been snooping around again? Please answer my question, Rod. And if I am? Why do you not want anyone to help you fix this? I don't need to tell you everything, Pique. His voice is now soft, his expression tired. I've been aware of another way to break my curse from the beginning, but I'd rather die than do what it is I need to do. Do what? Have you not read? His voice trails off when he sees my confusion. He clears his throat. Forget it. There's nothing more you can do. Oh. Okay, I think that was the wrong one. So, go back. Alright, confront him. Is this how you really want things to end? What are you talking about? Have you even thought about what your family will feel after they find out that you lied about your curse? You are going to die when Viorica gets married tomorrow, am I right? That is why you told me there is nothing I can do to help you break your curse. Because there really is nothing you can do to help me. Viorica will never return my love. I already accepted my fate a long time ago. Lady Parfait was the only one who insisted I find another way to break my curse. Because she refuses to give up on you, and I will not give up on you either. So that was correct, okay. I've been aware of another way to break my curse from the beginning, but I'd rather die than do what it is I need to do. What's the other one? Do what? Have you not read? His voice trails off when he sees my confused expression. He clears his throat. Forget it. There's nothing more you can do. I want to know! The reason I never told anyone the truth of my curse is because I never wanted anyone to blame themselves for not being able to help me. I was already a lost cause the moment Viorica really fell in love with someone else. I could never take that happiness away from her. Rod becomes silent, his gaze downcast. The vulnerable expression catches me by surprise. You should have told me about your curse a long time ago. How many times must I repeat myself? Telling you about my curse won't change the outcome. I could have tried to help you. Why are you so insistent on helping me? Because I care about you. Oh! Well, dang. Alright. My face warms up when the words escape from my lips. Rod also flushes. What are you saying? I don't know. That I'm worried about you on Emmeline's behalf, of course. I do not want her to think that I'd let you die. Ah! Rod lets out a deep sigh. Just stop talking. You are in no position to tell me what to do. He. There is a hint of warning in his voice. Now you better let me help you, or... Whoa! Skip, quick. My words are cut off over emphasis slips my mind. Bruh. It is only a brief kiss, and when he pulls his way, his usual somberness has returned. I told you to stop talking. There are many other ways you could have gotten me to shut up. I stare back at him baffled. Rod, do you realize that you just kissed the princess? Rip. Rod looks at Sebi, then at me. His face colors once more. He takes a step back, his lips pressed together. I'm sorry. Without any other warning, Rod turns abruptly and stalks out of the room. Rip! Sebi falls from his shoulder and falls to the ground, but Rod does not notice in his hurry to leave. Sebi, no! I stare after him in shock. Can't believe he just ran away. I walk to where Sebi is and kneel down to pick him up. Are you alright? I'm fine, thank you, princess. Sebi tilts his head to the side. That Rod. I wonder when he will start acting like a man. Starting kissing like a girl like that is so unromantic. Literally. I think about the warmth of Rod's lips pressed against mine and flush again. Rod may not say much, but wow. I can't. I keep clicking. Rod may not say much, but he has a lot going on in his head. Thoughts he doesn't ever want anyone to know. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I know he really does care about you, princess. He's just a little standoffish and has a difficult time showing his emotions. He's sensitive like that. Take it from me. I'm always in his head. Rip. I care about him too, but what will become of my feelings once I break my curse? I will return to be stepsister when this is all over. Y'all, this is so wrong. Fair warning, don't ever do any of this mess, okay? This is wrong on many moral levels. Just don't do it. No, this is not the time to mull over such thoughts, literally. I'm sorry for asking this of you, princess, but can you return me to Rod? That boy is useless without me. Kind of, yeah. The exasperation in Sebi's voice makes me smile. Sebi acts like Rod's older sibling. Of course. When Rod does not open the door, I knock again. Rod's eyes widen as soon as he sees me. His face flushes a dark crimson. I am here to return Sebi. Rod nods before slowly taking Sebi from my hands. Thank you. Be careful not to drop me again next time. There's a hint of a smile on Rod's face as he taps Sebi's face. Sorry. He looks so much more at ease when he smiles. Rod faces me again with an apologetic expression. Peek, I really am sorry for what I did earlier. I think we're sorry too. It was my fault for talking too much. Now you should stop insisting on helping me. I refuse. I also refuse. Sorry. I'm nosy. You really are stubborn. That makes the both of us. The hovering silence becomes more pronounced as we both stop talking. Okay. You said you wanted to talk to me about something you discussed with Lady Parfait? Yes. I meant to tell you that Delora will be here tomorrow to investigate. Okay, so that was the wrong choice. You don't have to apologize. I know you did not intend to do that in the first place. The truth is, I actually... Ugh! He trails off, then averts his eyes slowly to the floor. Then his eyes avert to the floor. Yeah. Suffice it to say, I'm not supposed to feel this way about you. What exactly are you feeling? Rod flushes a deep red before turning away. Don't ask me such an embarrassing question. You brought it up, dumbass! What? The hovering silence becomes more pronounced as we both stop talking. You said you wanted to talk to me about something you discussed with Lady Parfait? Yes. I meant to tell you that Delora will be here tomorrow to investigate. Now that we know Sir Alcaster is not the witch, we have to start our investigations over. Actually, about that, I know who the witch is. Uh, you do? Oh, hiccups, stop. It's Sir Mithros. He's the real witch. Sir Mithros? So when Sir Alcaster was throwing around accusations last night, they were true. Sir Mithros is also already aware that Delora has been investigating the palace. We need to warn her. Then I will send Lady Parfait a quick message. We need to keep our guard around him. Keep up our guard around him too, especially you. I'm sure he already knows that you're the crown princess. I nod in response. I feel like we should tell him what happened. Like, all of it. But oh well. For now, we should wait for Delora to show up tomorrow. But it's getting late. You should go and get some rest. Good night. The moment he says the words, I realize he is correct. My eyelids are heavy. You're right. I think I shall take my leave. Good night, Pete. Good night, Rod. Moments after Rod closes the door, I hear a familiar voice whispering in my ear. Ah, I see. Oh, shit! He was there! He was there the whole time! I jump back in surprise and stare at him with wide eyes. Oh, Sir Mithras is leaning casually against one of the pedestals. So that is where the prince disappears to every now and then. I had no reason to care before, but now I see it. If my guess is correct, he is also in league with the Lucius Bearer. Rip. When I do not answer, Sir Mithras smiles and shrugs. Well, it does not matter. I glance around us and notice the green shield from earlier. Once again, no one will hear this conversation. Dang! Now that the prince has confirmed your doubts, what will your next course of action be? You want to help him break his curse, yes? Rod may have given up on breaking his curse, but I refuse to do nothing. From the way Sir Mithras is taunting me, he must know of some other way to break the curse. If this goes with the original fairy tale, I know what has to happen. I don't want to say it though, because I don't want to spoil it in case someone hasn't read the story before. But we'll find out eventually. We'll find out soon. Rod will not be happy about this, but I need to use whatever means necessary to save him. Do you know how to break his curse, Sir Mithros? Ah, I will assume that you have not read the full fairy tale. If you do not know, yes, princess, I know. Tell me. Mithras cocks an eyebrow and waves a finger at me. Do you not realize by now how witches work, princess? I propose a deal. I will help you, but you must help me with something in return. Help you? If you are planning on betraying the king, I have no plans of taking the crown or harming any members of the royal family. What do you want? What? Then what is it you want from me? I prefer keeping you in suspense. I do enjoy surprises. You will find out the day after tomorrow. That is your 18th birthday. Oh, fudge! No! Don't do it! Just read the fairy tale. Just read the fairy tale. Why does it have to be on my birthday? Girl, why does it have to be on your birthday? Girl, that's the day you become the Tenebrarum bearer. Do you not remember? Don't worry, your highness. What I request from you will also make a pleasant gift. What do you say? I bite my lower lip as I consider. I am worried about Sir Mithras' request, but I no longer have time. Viorca's marriage is tomorrow, and Sir Mithras has the upper hand. Use your brain! Use your brain and think! Ah! I understand. Good, now remember, dear Peak, witches are bound to their oaths. In order for the prince to regain his voice in life, something must be taken by force, just like in the fairy tale. What does he mean by that? Tell me what I must do. Oh, I did forget to mention this, but It is not you who must act, but the prince. What? If Rod could help himself, he would have done so. He already would have done so. Please trust me, princess. You will have my aid, and I will make sure the prince's curse is broken. Oh, crud. What? Today is Viorca's wedding day, and also the day Rod is destined to die. Sir Mithras explained his plan briefly last night. He told me that he would have a valuable item delivered to Rod that he would need to use to break his curse. He further explained that it was something he would need to use after the wedding. I tried to question him further, but he disappeared before I could, saying that he needed to start his preparations. I do not completely trust him, but I am running out of time and have no choice right now. The royal family has left the palace to attend Viorca's wedding. It is unusual for the king to attend another noble's wedding, but Viorca is an exception given that she is one of Rod and Emmeline's best friends. Despite Sir Mithras' reassurance, I am still restless. Sir Mithras told me that everything would be alright, that Rod would not instantly die the moment Viorca got married. Why must his involvement be reserved for a time after the wedding? Why does he not act now? Someone looks like they're in a bad mood. Dolores suddenly stands before me, smirking. Her appearance shocks me so badly I nearly drop the dishes in my hands. What impeccable timing. Wow. Okay. We've heard from the prince about Mithras. No wonder I was iffy about the man. I should have realized he was the witch. Do you know him? Yes, I do. Dolores walks closer and places both of her hands on my shoulders. Listen to me, princess. I am warning you. Stay away from Mithras. Do you understand? I guess. That man is a sly devil. He cannot be trusted. I take a deep breath to still my rapidly beating heart. I hope I will not regret asking for his help. I feel like we are. Princess, I need you to promise me that you will stay away from Mithras. It's a little too late for that. Yes, of course. Good. For the time being, I will resume my investigation. If I'm lucky, I'll find out what Mithras hopes to accomplish. Actually, he is not in the palace right now. He went with the royal family to attend the wedding. A wedding, huh? How unusual. I can only assume he must be there at the wedding to help Rod. Well then, better make use of his absence while I can. I'll see you later, princess. When I am left to my own thoughts, my mind returns to the issue of Rod's curse. Bro! Sir Mithras mentioned a similarity with the fairy tale, which means I may have a chance of finding out more. I decide to go to the library when I have the time to pick up a book. I am now on my way back to my quarters with the book in hand when I see Rod walking toward me from the other side. His eyes are fixed on the floor, so he does not notice me as I approach. Rod? He is still alive. Does that mean Sir Mithras has succeeded? Oh, it's just you. Rod's voice still comes from Stebby. The realization instills a deep fear inside of me. He is still cursed. How much time does he have left? Much to my surprise, Rod actually smiles at me. Smile is forced, however, and does not reach his eyes. He looks crestfallen. Alright. Oh, man, I don't want to see him die. That would be so sad. Like, I know this is wrong, like, morally, but, like, it still would be sad. Are you alright? I'm fine. No, you're not. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. No. But I'm tired, Peak, so for tonight I just want to rest. Good night. Okay, that was not correct. Got it. No, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Okay. Okay. How was the wedding? I quickly plant my head over my mouth after I asked the question. I'm so dumb. Rod just saw the person he loves getting married today. I already know how he feels. I apologize, I should not have asked that. Rod looks at me surprised, then to my shock he starts chuckling. Why are you laughing? You look like a criminal caught in the act of a crime. I apologize for trying to be sensitive, Your Highness. Without realizing it, I smile back at him. It looks like Rod has. It looks like Rod has finally learned to converse with me normally. I hope this will not be the last time I see him smile like this. I'm tired, Peek. I will now retire for the night. Rod looks at me again and smiles. Good night, Peek. Ah! Without waiting for my answer, Rod begins to walk away. I glance down at the book in my hands, then slowly open up to the last page of the Little Mermaid fairy tale. I start reading from the section where the mermaid sisters explain how to get her fins back. Oh, thank goodness that she didn't read the whole story. I was like, girl, that whole story's gonna take you forever. Take this knife. Before the sun rises, you must plunge it into the heart of the prince, and you will be a mermaid once again. So it is. It is like the story. It is like the original story. The book falls from my hands and collapses to the floor. I stare at it, dumbfounded. Wait, this means Rod needs to kill Viorica? Then the item that Sir Mithras mentioned earlier. Could it be the knife? I need to find him. I turn and start running in the direction of Rod's room in hopes that I will still be able to catch Sir Mithras there. When I come to the end of the hallway, however, it is not Sir Mithras who stands by Rod's door. Emmeline? Emmeline is slowly walking in the direction of the throne room. Her movements seem oddly mechanical. I rush toward her. Emma! Princess Emmeline! Where are you going? I must go to Rod. Why is she going to the throne room? Rod is back in his room. My eyes catch on something shining in Emmeline's hand. It's the knife. Oh, fudge. My heart nearly stops when I see that it is a knife. Emmeline, what are you? If he kills his beloved with this blade, his curse will break and he won't die. It is as if she is in a trance. Is this Sir Mithras' doing? Is she under one of his spells? Emmeline, snap out of it. Emmeline starts walking again, ignoring me. When I try to approach her again, thinking to steal away the knife, a shadow suddenly comes to stand between us. Ah! Varg looms in front of me, smirking. Where did you come from? Let me through, Varg. No can do, princess. Don't you want to save the prince? I look at Emmeline, who has not even turned to glance at us. I glare at Varg, who is still standing in my way, grinning. Step aside, Varg. Ah, feisty. You are a far more interesting princess than your stepsister. Ooh. I tried to sidestep, but Varg follows my motions. I try again and again, but he just thwarts my progress. He holds his hands up in the air, eyebrows raised. Tell me, what would you do if I let you go? Would you stop him from killing the girl? Rod would never kill her. He would never do anything to harm the person he loves. He refused to do it, and he has no reason to do it now. Literally. If he really wanted to, he would have done it sooner. Varg is silent for a few moments as he considers. Interesting. He steps aside and bows. Go ahead, then. You are letting me go? I would like to see this play end as it may, without any strings attached. Ugh, okay. Chapter 10! We're almost done! I stop in my tracks when I see Sir Mithras just standing in front of the main door to the throne room. He looks at me expectantly as I approach. Sir Mithras? Good evening, Your Highness. Such a lovely night tonight, isn't it? Only half an hour left before you turn 18. Do not forget our deal, Princess. Come midnight, I will be requesting your aid in exchange for helping the prince break his curse. I clench my hands into tight fists. Helping the prince break his curse? Rod killing someone is not what I wanted. Sir Mithras puts a finger to his lip. Wouldn't want to attract attention to the knights, would you? There would be quite a bit of explaining to do then. I glare at him, then take a deep breath and lower my voice. You did not tell me that breaking Rod's curse meant killing someone. Oh, but I am only ordering the end of my deal. Perhaps you should have done your research before agreeing. Literally. The grin on his lips never wavers. but I can see the amusement in his eyes. I've relied entirely on the story Emmeline told me, and that was my biggest mistake. I should have read the full fairy tale. But now it seems you finally know the full story of the Princess Fairy Tale, To break his curse, Prince Rod must kill his beloved with the knife his sister has brought him, just like in the fairy tale. Sir Mithras continues to smile at me. I realize he is speaking slowly like one might speak to a child. Disgusting. Disgusting. Ugh. No condescending. So condescending. No. Wait. Start to realize that Sir Mithras is purposely drawing out this conversation to stall me. I need to go. Mithras does not stop me when I Mithras does not stop me when I slide past him to open the doors to the throne room. The first thing I see when I enter the throne room is Rod. He is standing in the middle of the area with Emmeline in his arms. Is she alright? Rod gently places Emmeline on the throne. He leans to look down more closely at her sleeping face, then reaches down to take the object in her hand before he faces me. I can see the metallic glimmer in his hand and know that he is holding the knife Emmeline brought with her. Where did she even get this knife? He pauses to stare at it, then turns suddenly, my eyes widening at some sight in another part of the room. Follow his gaze to the corner of the room where Viorica floats in midair. Her eyes are closed and her hands are clasped, as if she is just sleeping. Viorica? But how? Such a pleasant surprise, isn't it? Oh no! Sir Mithras walks into the room with his hands clasped behind his back. You. Good evening, Your Highness. Is this your doing? Sir Mithras just smiles at him pleasantly. Rod only glares back at him. Guards. Mithras clicks his tongue and chuckles. My apologies, Your Highness, but no one will be able to hear you no matter how loud you shout. Not even your witch friend will hear anything through my magic. He knows Delora is here. Crud! I glance around the room and notice that Sir Mithras has created his silent green barrier. This is the same magic he used yesterday. Now, let us get back to the matter at hand. You are running out of time, Prince Rod. It would be a shame to see you perish here after the princess went through the trouble of asking me to save your life. Peek, what is he talking about? The princess didn't want you to die, so she asked me to help break your curse. Sir Mithras spread his arms, gesturing towards both Emmeline and Viorica. And so I have been kind enough to set the stage and gather its actors for what I hope would be a wonderful finale. I can't help but wonder how this fairy tale will end. Why would you do this, Peek? I did not know it meant killing Viorica, I swear. That is why I came here, to stop you. I told you so many times that there was nothing you could do to help me, and yet you still refused to listen to me. Because I refused to let you die. Can you not see that you are important to me, Rod? Oh my, what a scandal. Shut up. Peek. I turned to Sir Mithras and stared daggers at him. I asked you to help, Rod. Why did you have to involve Emmeline in this? It was a necessary requirement that the prince be the one to give him the knife, Your Highness. It was, after all, the mermaid's sister that brought her the knife to kill her beloved. So that's how she knew about all of this? She came here crying, begging me to break my curse, because she didn't want me to die. I almost wanted to do it. But I could never kill someone. That is why I will always refuse to break my curse, even if I really want to live. Dang. Alright, well, bye then. Perhaps I miscalculated. Maybe. Well, this can be remedied. Oh, crud. Sir Mithras waves his hand. His fingers begin to glow subtly with magic. What are you... Ugh. Rod! Faint green glow surrounds Rod as he doubles over. What are you doing to him? What I should have done to begin with. The witch who cursed him said that he must do this of his own accord. Seeing as he refuses, I'm going to have to bend the rules slightly. It probably won't work then if the witch says he has to do it of his own accord. Rod stands abruptly and begins walking toward Viorca. The knife in his hand glistens beneath the patches of scattered moonlight in the room. Princess, he's going to kill Viorca! Stop this, Sir Mithros. Where is Delora when we need her? Delora, save us! Delora, please! I run towards Rod and wrap my arms around his waist in an attempt to stop him. But whether through magic or his own strength, he continues onward. I end up being dragged behind him. Rod, snap out of it! Rod! I must kill her. His gaze is so glassy and his words so mechanical that he sounds nothing like himself. No! Mithros, stop this. I am ending our deal. My apologies, Your Highness, but not even I can dispel my magic once it has been casted. Naphis! You've missed so much. Oh my gosh, Naphis, you have missed so much. It is bad. It is bad. I don't even want to continue. I'm so uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. But oh well. Okay. My apologies, Your Highness, but I can't. Yeah, it will only fade of its own volition. Once what needs to be done has transpired. That, or perhaps in the most unlikely circumstances, the prince will simply shake the spell himself. Though Mithras' words are apologetic, his expression is anything but. In fact, he looks amused by it all. Not so fast. Delora! Delora coming to the rescue. A crimson ball of light rushes towards Mithras. He waves his hand through the air and is barely able to conjure a shield to protect himself from Delora's magic. Delora! It wasn't actually easy to find you all, especially with the silencing spell. Such a nuisance. That is not important. Help me stop Rod. Frost slowly appears beneath Rod's feet. It spreads up his legs, freezing him in place. I sigh with relief as I collapse onto the floor. My arms are sore with the effort of trying to hold Rod back. Mithras clicks his tongue as he faces Delora. I don't believe you were invited to this play, traitor. Oh. Light gathers around Mithras' hand. Moments later, he releases energy toward her. Delora, in turn, conjures a barrier, successfully protecting herself from Mithras' magic. I always did fancy myself a party crasher. LOL, she's so funny. I love her. Still, to think that you were alive this whole time. Myth. Myth? His real name. He is one of the Tenebrarum bearer's servants. This person was my mother's servant? Oh, crud! Allow me to correct you. I am her only faithful servant. I am nothing like that ungrateful bastard who betrayed her to the fairies. Who is he talking about? Well, whatever it is you're planning, forget about it. There's no way we're letting you get away with it. Oh, well, do try your best. But first, a reminder. Oh, crud. Oh, crud. I am the superior witch here. Dang, bro. We're gonna die. Energy crackles in the air as sparks begin to form around his hand. The spell is taking longer than his other spells. I notice Delora's worry moments before she's able to cast a shield on herself. This is not good. Mithras releases the bolts of lightning in Delora's direction. Dang! The impact causes both the shield and the ground to shudder. Delora! The smoke clears and miraculously, Delora stands unharmed. No sooner has a sigh escaped my lips than another frightening sound echoes across the room. There's a loud crack and I realize it is coming from Delora's shield. Everything after that happens in a blur. Delora is still trying to hold the shield up while Mithras casts another spell on it. Oh no. Guys, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, there we go. It shatters and the magic seeps through and it hits her directly. Delora! No! Really now, have you forgotten the most important lesson in defense magic? Always conjure another shield after being hit by a powerful spell. Or, oh, I do apologize. Perhaps I did not give you enough time to cast another shield? How thoughtless of me. Delora lays on the floor, unmoving. Delora! I'm about to rush to her side when Mithras moves to stand in front of me with a malicious grin on his face. This dude is getting on my nerves. That will do you no good. It will do you no good to be in denial, princess. How could you? How could you hurt another witch? It is not a crime to destroy a traitor. He looks back at Delora with clear disdain. Then he sets his eyes back on me and raises his eyebrows. It is foolish of you to try to stop this. You wanted this, and I will not allow you to renege our deal. Renege? Renege on our deal. I don't know what that word is. Yo! Divinity, what's up? What's up, my friend? How are you? Uh, you're coming on a day where I'm streaming something really weird, and you're new to the channel. So RIP, I'm sorry. Uh-huh. I'm apologizing ahead of time because this is gonna be the next weird, probably 30 minutes. The prince will break his curse and you will help me. I don't wanna help you, bruh. Yes, I went to great pains to make sure Alcaster kept you safe just so you could repay me. Dang. You said that you made a deal with Alcaster to borrow the knight's assistance. And what would I need the knight's assistance for, dear princess? I never needed the knights. Oh, fuck! I just need Alcaster to keep you safe. Dang. I would have gotten rid of him myself if I wasn't sure the king would eventually find me. Oh my gosh. So this whole time you were only trying to keep me safe? To use me? Use is such a simple dang it. Use is such a simple ugly word. Remember, I just want you to help me. Princess! I turn around and realize that Dolores' spell on Rod has faded and that he is now only a few feet away from Viorica. Crud. Rod! I'm not ready for this. Crud. Okay. Force myself to run toward him as fast as I can manage. I will not let you kill anyone. I do not know what I must do to stop him, so I do the first thing that comes to mind. I put myself between Rod and Viorica just as he is about to plunge the knife into her. Princess! Oh, shit. Oh, we got stabbed. Oh, we got stabbed. Oh my gosh. We got stabbed. We got stabbed. Oh no. Um, bruh? What? My body is racked with pain the moment the blade sinks into my shoulder. Ugh. I collapse onto the floor and hold onto my injured shoulder. I can feel my blood seeping through my fingers. Oh, crud. You fool, you could have easily been killed. I do not care. I don't want to say this. And later on, and I would never let him do something that he would regret for the rest of his life. Yay. I, I cringed. Kron, I'm never gonna forgive you for this. I am never gonna forgive you for this. I hate this. Ah! Kron about to get fired from Mod. He's not even here right now, but he's about to get fired for Mod for this mess. I don't like it. Ah! I cringe. Clears tear. Wow. I cringe. Clear tear. Wow. Tears. Thank you. Tears cloud my vision as the pain worsens. Ouch. Peek. I feel Rod's arm surrounds a rat. I just want to be able to read. I just want to be able to read. Please. I feel Rod's arms around me as he cradles me to his chest. I look up at him to see that his eyes are fixed on my bleeding shoulder. Rod looks at me with anguish. He grabs a handkerchief from his pocket and presses it to my shoulder. I can't believe I did this. I stare in shock as his lips move. It's not Sevi speaking, but him. Your voice. Oh, the curse is broken! Woo! Your voice. You broke your curse. But how? Oh, a bright light envelops us for a few moments. I have to close my eyes against this brightness. I reach out to grab at my necklace, but it is gone. I open my eyes in panic, but the necklace is definitely not there. Peek, the glass slippers. I glanced down to see a pair of smooth glass slippers on my feet. Cute! You broke your curse by breaking mine. Yay! We both broke our curses. I hear the sound of shattering glass. I turn to see Sir Mithras staring at a broken vial. What is that? Frost has begun to form at his feet and is now spreading up his legs. Yeah! What is happening? Always have a backup, as they say. Seems like you're the one who forgot the basics of combat. Never turn your back on an opponent unless you're sure that they're dead. Your bloated ego does wonders in turning the tide of battle. Delora is now back on her feet and walking towards Mithras. She dusts off her dress as she moves. Delora is unharmed? Oh, thank God. I was so scared. You? But how? Did you really think I'd forget to conjure another shield? The frost now has made its way up to Mithras's neck. Inconceivable. A lowly witch like you can never cast this powerful a spell. Delora gestures at the glass shards on the floor. That's where Parfay's new special potion comes in handy. It makes my magic more powerful. The second most basic lesson is to never underestimate your opponent. Looks like you were a terrible pupil. Mithras opens his mouth to speak, or perhaps to scream, but by the time he opens his mouth, the frost has completely devoured him, leaving him nothing but an icy sculpture. Let him melt! Delora Peak is... Has her bleeding stopped? I think so. I cannot make out what they say after that. My world starts spinning and everything starts to blur, so I close my eyes. Great, we passed out. I feel Delora's hand on my forehead. The warmth relaxes me somewhat. We got you, princess. Hang in there, Peak. My body becomes heavier by the second as I lean my head against Ron's chest. So we pass out. Great. And then I feel myself falling into never-ending darkness. Shit. She's talking at me. Sorry. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see are the soft rays of sunlight seeping through the window. I am in my own room? Well, yeah, you broke the curse! I attempt to sit up and cringe when I feel a sharp pain in my shoulder. I reach out to touch it, only to realize it has been neatly bandaged. Despite the injury, my body feels oddly light, stronger than it even was before. Because it's our birthday! I remember. I placed myself in front of Viorica to stop Rod from hurting her. But where did this energy come from? It's your birthday! The door opens and Emmeline walks in with a tray of food in her hands. She stops when she realizes that I am staring at her, and nearly drops the tray in her rush to stand beside me. Emmeline! I love her. Peek, you're finally awake. I was so worried about you. I'm so sorry. This was all my fault. What are you talking about? It was mine, not yours. I remember bringing the knife to Rod, but I can't remember much of what happened before or after that. Just that when I woke up in the throne room, I saw that you were bleeding in Rom's arms. I thought you were going to... The rest of Emmeline's words break to pieces as she begins to cry. Emmeline! No! It's okay. I'm so sorry for forgetting about you. Stop! She's so sweet! I made you work too hard while you were my personal maid. And I shake my head with a sigh. It was not your fault I was cursed, Emmeline. But I look at her tear-stained face. Give her a hug! Give her a hug, please. She needs it. She was not at fault, yet here she is crying. She really is a good person. Literally. I spread my arms. Peek. I turn away suddenly embarrassed. You look like you needed a hug. Yes! Aww. Emmeline's so cute. I love her. Aw. Emmeline stares at me for a few moments. I'm about to reconsider when I suddenly feel her arms around me. I am so happy. I hug her back and stroke her hair. I cannot help but smile at the warmth that spreads in my chest. Thank you. Emmeline pulls back, her face full of concern. What? What will happen to you? Oh. Well, what happened to you and Rod now? I saw how close the two of you got, and I saw how Rod looked at you last night. Wait, last night? So today is my birthday, and the day I become the bearer. Is that the reason why I feel so strangely energized? Probably. Oh, Emily walks up to one of my doll shelves, picks up the doll she had placed there months ago. Happy birthday! I meant to give this to you earlier as a surprise before you were cursed. Anyway, I know it's not as pretty as the other dolls from your collection, but I hope that you like it. It is beautiful. Thank you. I take the doll in my arms as the knock sounds on the door. Come in. Ah! Speak of the devil. The door opens and Rod steps inside. His eyes widen when he sees Emmeline. Em? Oh, I was just about to leave. Okay. Okay. Emily slides off my bed and heads for the door. Before she closes it, she turns to us once again. I know how complicated this will be for the both of you, but I want you to know that I will support you. No! I don't want you to. Ugh. So my lips are sealed. But Ophelia knows too, because Ophelia noticed it. So there's no point in keeping your... Whatever. Whatever. Emily winks before finally closing the door behind her. No, because if this is set in, like, proper times, you're never unchaperoned with any... Okay, whatever. There's an awkward silence in the room before Rod approaches me and sits on the edge of the bed. How are you feeling? Still hurts, but I will be fine. Yeah, we're good. What's wrong? I am just not used to hearing your voice from your own lips. Yeah, probably. That kind of makes sense. Oh, but I see that you still have Stebby with you. Yeah! Stebby! I've grown too fond of him to completely set him aside. He's helped me through a lot. Bummer, I can't read his thoughts anymore. There was never any need for you to do that in the first place. Is that so? Stevie is so funny. Oh my gosh. Ross shakes his head and sighs silently. So what happened last night? How is it that you were able to break your curse? You did not kill Viorica. Ahem. In the original fairy tale, the Little Mermaid could retain her humanity only if the prince loved her back. Though it never happens in the fairy tale, it is an element of her curse. But still, the prince never fell in love with her. The only way for the mermaid to live was to kill him. I fell in... Oh. I don't want to read this. Okay, I fell in love with you unknowingly, and when you told me you loved me as well last night, that broke my curse. Cool. Ugh, come on, I'm gonna kill you. I feel my cheeks turn warm. Rod coughs, his own cheeks flush. So there you have it. The Little Mermaid never had a fairy tale ending, but I did. I never had to kill Viorca. But because my curse started with Ugh. But because my curse started with Viorca, I assumed it had to end with her too. Turns out the Turns out the person I loved just needed to love me back. It was mistaken. I was mistaken. It never needed to be Viorca. Could it have been? Never mind. I see. Okay. We stare at each other for a few moments, the awkward silence returning. I change the subject as quickly as I can. Awkward silence. What became of Sir Mithras? Delora brought him back to Lady Parfait. She is the one who will properly punish him. And what of Viorica? Delora returned her to her. Delora. Wow. Hello. Delora Help. Delora returned her to her home yesterday. She does not remember anything that happened. There we go. Everything is back to how it was then? You are back to being my stepbrother? Yeah. I cannot help but feel crestfallen at this truth. Blood binds, but so do sibling bonds. Rod and I can never have what either of us want. Ugh. I I don't want to forget these feelings I have for you, Pete. Well, do it, cause no. If I had if I had never made that deal with the witch, then maybe we might have actually been able to be together. But then you wouldn't have met. But but had you not been cursed, our paths never would have crossed. Mm-hmm. I reach for Rod's hand. He laces his fingers through mine with a small smile. Please stop. I No! Okay, whatever. Okay, skipping. I don't care. Nope. I'm not reading it. But please stop. I don't like this. I'm very uncomfortable. Kron, if you're in here and you're laughing at me, I think he's still streaming, but if he's not and he's like laughing at me right now, I'm going to shove my foot so far up his ass. He won't even know what the hell happened. I am sick of this. Ugh, okay. Riley's foreign kisses my cheek. I know. 1 month later. Ever since I broke my curse and became the new Tenebrae bearer, I have been training under Parfait and Dolores so that I can learn to control my newfound powers. Oh, that's cool. I never wanted this responsibility, but it is a burden I was born into. Sadly, yes. It is necessary I maintain the balance between light and dark that has been missing for so long. Now that I am the new Tenebrae and bearer, Parfait wants the two of us to work together in maintaining that peace. Yeah! That's so sweet! I love that. Her and Parfait. Us and Parfait. Working together. Okay, I do not wish to cause any pain or suffering to the people, especially to the people whom I cherish. Sometimes I still wonder what Sir Mithras wanted me to do for him, but that is not important anymore. I kind of wonder, what did Sir Mithras want us to do for him? I still have much to learn right now, as the new bearer. My priority is to get rid of the fairy tale curse once and for all. Yes! For the time being, everyone at the Martian waits patiently for the day I will learn to lift their curses. Whoa, sorry. I had an alarm go off. My bad. Um, for the date that I will learn to lift their curses. Yeah! Since everything transpired, my relationship with Ophelia and Emmeline has improved. Yay! I love them both. They're so sweet. Emmeline is fond of calling me the best sister, even though I am the only one she has. That's natural. Trust me. My relationship with the king, however, has yet to be mended. I'm doing my best to open up to him and to give him a chance, but the efforts are slow going. I do not ask why he acted the way that he did in the past, but I know that in order to move forward, I must let go of the past. That's sad. Oh well. It is finally time. I have been waiting for this day. I head back. What day? I head back into my room to change my dress into something less conspicuous. Conspicuous. Afterwards, I head into town, into the forest for my designated meeting. Into the forest? The forest? It is a relief the king allows me to leave the palace on my own. I would not have been able to come here with the guards. I guess me being the Tenebrae bear puts him at ease. If the title reassures him and allows me to come out here on my own to meet Rod, then, I am not complaining. We're meeting Rod? Fudge! Alright, whatever. Rod still uses the secret passage he has always used to sneak out of the palace. Emily knows about our secret meetings and helps cover for our disappearances if necessary. Of course. It makes me happy that Emmeline approves of our relationship, that we do not have to keep it a secret from absolutely everyone. At first, Rod and I both attempted to keep our distance without making it seem too obvious to everyone around us. Though Ophelia seems to suspect something is going on between the two of us, she has not asked questions. Ophelia knows. A mother always knows. They just do. Trust me. Emily was not happy with our decision. She felt, she said she felt terrible that we would be forced to let go of something so precious on account of our titles. She was right. More than that, it was difficult for the two of us to deny our feelings for each other. What are you even gonna do? In the end, we came up with a solution, even if it is temporary. We decided to secretly meet up in the forest every once in a while so that we could be together without any pretenses. Even just for a little while. When I when I catch sight of Rod, I run towards him and throw my arms around his neck. Feel Rod snuggle his face into the crook of my neck. That's really weird. Okay. May I have this dance? Oh, they're dancing! I take Rod's hand and begin dancing to a silent song. First time I danced with him, it was to prove a point. It was when neither of us even liked each other. I remember this as I stare at him. What, is there something on my face? I was just remembering how much he hated me back then, and now, here we are. Fate sure loves to toy with us. Smile at Rod. Just for a little longer. I want to be by his side. I do not know how long we can keep this up, but every day I wish for the same thing. I wish that I can live my life openly loving Rod. No! I do not. Sorry. No. I wonder, would that dream ever be possible? Okay! That was it! Was that good ending? I'm assuming that was good ending. I think the bad ending probably would have been him dying. Um, R.I.P. Rod. Uh, okay. Good ending? Question mark? I'm confused. Good ending? Question mark? Okay. Um, that was interesting. It was an interesting story. I hated it, but it wasn't absolutely unbearable. Well, some parts were absolutely unbearable, but it wasn't horrible. There was some parts that were like really good. And then some parts that I was like, okay, this is nope. Also, Sebi is hilarious. I liked Sebi. Um, and I loved Emmeline. I loved that we got to be friends with Emmeline. Like that was so sweet to me. I I can't skip this. I wish I could. I'm trying, but oh well. But I loved getting to like improve the relationship with Emmeline and with Ophelia. Like, and so now like we have a better relationship with our family, and like I also like that we ended up becoming friends with Delora afterwards. I love Delora. Delora is so sweet. And I also think it's cool that we became the Tenebrae bearer. Like that was crazy. Like I was not expecting that. I did not know that like our mom was like a witch. And so when that got revealed on us, that was absolutely insane. So, yeah. I still am wondering what Mithros originally had planned for us. Um, which I think we'll find out in other stories because I'm told that like each story, even though it has a different plot, it has like a overarching main plot that like all of them have different parts of that kind of connect the dots. So we're going to have to play all the routes eventually. Um, but yeah, that was interesting to me. Um, I am not sure who we're going to romance next. All I know, oh, we did obtain the good ending. I just got an achievement. Mermaid voice. Obtain Rod's good ending. Okay. I do think eventually after I complete all the good endings, I will do the bad endings. And it'll be like one video of all the bad endings. Which will be really sad. But it's fine. But yeah. I think I am going to end stream here. I think I will probably um whatchamacallit. I think I will probably do another stream later tonight. I just need a break for a while because I am tired. But yeah. I think we're gonna raid Kron. Um, but thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me through this rough time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys later today. Um, because I think I will stream again a little bit later. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and hope to see you guys next time.